evening, everyone, and welcome back. I know it's been a while since we've done Vampire the Masquerade, but we are back. We have some returning familiar faces as well as some new faces. We are joined by the lovely people who run Dice and Destinies. Thank you, Maggie, and everybody else for having us here.
Welcome, welcome.
And so we have some characters you guys will remember from our old Chronicle, which unfortunately didn't get finished, but we're just going to start over and go from there. We also have some new players who this is their first time playing Masquerade, so we're just going to kind of see what happens and have fun with it. Without further ado, we're just going to go ahead and jump in. We are, excuse me. Oh, my throat's killing me today. We are going to be doing New Orleans by night. To set the scene. The neon-lit streets of New Orleans conceal a dark secret. A mysterious murder grips the city, leaving the kindred community on edge. Whispers and talk of ancient powers and powerful vampires drift through the air, but most attribute them to nothing more than rumors and hearsay. Body counts rise, the veil of the masquerade begins to fray. But with a power gap in the city, it's to be expected. Nobody knows what happened, but the Prince of New Orleans just vanished one day. Nobody knows what happened to him, where he went, if he's dead. He just up and vanished, and nobody has been, shall we say, eager enough to put their neck on the chopping block to take up that void. We are going to go ahead and start. It is about 10 o'clock at night. Downtown New Orleans, down by Bourbon Street. The noises are a cacophony of laughter, screams, curses, music. Jazz is playing out of one bar, techno out of another. It's just a whirlpool of colors and sounds and smells. It's, for human standards, it's pretty chilly tonight. It's about 40, 45 degrees, but for a certain group, it's just another night. They don't feel the cold wind, the bite of the winter chill, anything like that. That being said, we're going to go ahead and start off with two fan favorite characters who have made a return. Lydia and Zelia are currently wandering this lovely area of Bourbon Street, accompanied by a Malkavian by the name of Chris. He stands about 6'2", kind of lanky, has rainbow hair brushed over into like a side mohawk. Looks like the best way I can describe the back section of Spencer's mixed with the cringe version of Hot Topic put into one. And he is currently carrying a copy of Alice in Wonderland that he is reading upside down. Next to him is a rather pale and almost corpse-like looking man, a Nosferatu by the name of Lind. For those who need to know, for note-taking, it's L-I-N-D as in Donna. He's currently wearing an oversized hoodie that looks to be about a 5X being worn by maybe a large, extra large frame. His skin almost looks translucent. You can see blue lines on his cheeks as the veins kind of roll back through his body. If he had hair, it's long gone. His head is shaven clean. And he seems to be more or less unamused by this outing. Lydia and Zelia, would you care to flip a coin to see who gets to describe themselves first?
Sure, why not? Give me a second.
I'm like, I don't have a coin.
Heads or tails, hun?
Heads.
It's heads.
Oh. What is
All
she
right,
doing?
Describing your character and what you are doing.
Yes.
Okay.
So entranced by the storyteller.
I know, I'm too fabulous.
So Zelia, she's She's an interesting one. What you see is she's probably older time, so probably like 5 foot. Um, kind of a lightish pink hair. Um, her most striking features, besides a piercing through her lip and uh, through her nose, and I think the bridge of her nose, is her eye colors are actually one is blue and one is red. Uh, yeah, she's an interesting character.
All right. Now, Lydia, would you care to describe yourself for the viewers?
Absolutely, I would. I, with heels on, I stand about 5'7", which I wear often. My longer golden color hair is back in a braid, and to do the blending it, of course, she's wearing like a cardigan, but underneath is a green top that has a tie on the collar and high-waisted black pants. Her eyes are blue, like a really rich sapphire blue. And she is walking along chatting with Zelia.
All right. So, real quick, I would like Lydia to do me a favor.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, and as you guys are walking through this very, very, very busy and crowded part of town, I would like you to make me a wits and awareness check.
Give me 2 seconds to figure out which dice that is.
While she does that, Zelia,
Uh-huh.
is there anything in particular your character is talking with Chris and Lind about? Or is she looking for anything in particular, or is she just kind of here like, ooh, pretty colors?
Yeah, essentially, because it'd be her first time ever there, just because she's like a Southern California native. So it was her first time there, so she's just like, ooh, look at that.
Totally fair. Well, in that case, since it's ooh, shiny color time, go ahead and make me a composure and wits check. As the sights and sounds around you make the beast within not necessarily hunger, but ooh, what that?
Okay, so we do
3 out of 3 successes.
Ooh, okay, we'll get to that in a second.
So you take. So I have 2 points in composure. It's been a while since we played. So 2 points in composure, 2 in wits. So I do 4 dice, right?
Yes, every dot counts as a die.
Okay. God damn, no!
How
No
bad?
successes!
Were any of them bestial failures?
No! They're just blank. They're
Okay.
just all blank.
All right. Well, it's a good thing you rolled high, Lydia, because for your compulsion, according to my random chart here,
Oh no!
I didn't expect to break this out after the first 10 minutes. So good job, Corgi. Your compulsion, all these bright lights and shiny colors, you suddenly have to count every light bulb as you pass by it.
Oh no.
Every single light bulb. Street
We're on
lights,
Bourbon
door
Street.
lights, neons. If they have string lights up, every little tiny Christmas light on the string light, you suddenly have the urge to count every single one of them. Chris unfortunately failed his awareness roll, and he's too busy looking at his upside down book going, ah yes, this is very fascinating. And Lind didn't care enough to roll, so Lydia, I'm guessing you're kind of keeping an eye out. You know, you've done this before. This is your home stomping grounds. You're back home. You know how this shit goes.
Oh yeah.
So as you're walking, not only do you notice Zelia suddenly start looking at the lights like a moth trying to become one with the light, you also happen to notice, let me roll a die here because there are a lot of you and I want to make sure that I am doing this right. Da, 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 da. Let's see. Eeny, meeny, miny. Okay, yeah, that works. So as you guys are walking, you happen to see a gentleman wearing very what would normally be considered dated Western attire, but in this area it's not too uncommon. Uylsses, please feel free to describe yourself for the players.
Okay, so Uylsses, um, Uylsses is wearing what could be called like some weird mishmash of like turn of the century business casual and old timey Western apparel. You he as vampires, as kindred, you can recognize him as a kindred that never really learned how to dress himself and just kind of puts on whatever he feels like. So he's wearing what looks to be like a suit jacket from like the 1940s. He's a Stetson hat and and just blue jeans. You're a little bit dismayed to see that he's not wearing cowboy boots. Um, he is also wearing a very large coat over everything, um, in which he is hiding an army, a cavalry saber from roughly the 1860s.
All right,
Noted.
so that is what you see, Lydia. Now, you're kind of just taking in the sights, taking in the sounds, all this fun stuff. What are you... Let me think how to phrase this. What are you hoping to do while you're out and about?
You said it was at around 10 o'clock, correct?
It's still fairly early in the evening, yes.
I'm probably gonna stop by my businesses at some point tonight.
Okay, so your goal is to get to your, it's a nightclub you run?
And run a nightclub and a hotel.
For those who don't want to, walk home.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the end goal of the evening thus far. All right. Well, is there any conversations you want to have? Do you want to approach the guy you saw? This goes for both of y'all. Your Malkavian and your Nosferatu are too busy being the lovely brothers they are to really notice what's going on.
I have to keep an eye on the three of them. Do you really think I'm gonna go approach him right now? We have Zelia counting lights.
Stranger things have happened.
Yeah, this is true.
Do I notice them?
Oh yeah, no, it's not that hard. Like, I'm not gonna make you roll for this one because you look up and you see a pink-haired woman literally walking in circles, counting lights over and over again. A guy reading a book upside down like it's the Bible. This creepy-looking guy next to him who's just like, I will fucking stab you, and the mom friend looking like she's ready to set somebody on fire.
I give Lydia a look of like, I'm clearly not someone who talks to people a lot, but you seem like you're in distress. Do you require assistance? I just kind of give it a sort of like a do you need help look.
Blink twice if you need help.
Yeah, exactly. That sort of vibe.
So you see that, Lydia.
Yeah, so I'm gonna, I noticed that, right?
Oh, easily. With your successes, you see everything going on over there.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of, make eye contact. and not dismissively brush it, but more of the no, I deal with this all the time type thing.
Okay.
All right. Uylsses just kind of gives a nod and a quick like gesture of the best of luck, and goes on his way.
All right. So, while you guys are heading towards your businesses, Uylsses, because the other player has not arrived yet, we're gonna go ahead and say that you're running some errands for him, as well as whatever you have to take care of, like as far as whatever it is you do.
I'm dealing with some. I'm dealing with some of his business, yes. And
Alright.
sorry, I'm trying to think of what exactly it is. I don't know. He's picking up some collections or something like that from some
That
local power players.
that works because on your collections route, as you're, this is an every night thing for you. You go around, you do your collection, the whole nine. You did receive a note, or rather a text, saying that you needed to swing by the city morgue because of rumors of these murders that are popping up and starting to raise some red flags for your business partner, employer. I'm not sure how y'all want to figure that out, but the guy that you're working with. There is some definite concern for the murders going on here, and he has asked you to swing by the morgue and investigate.
All right. I would say that Laron and Uylsses are like, it's like when you give your friend or like a buddy of yours a job in much the same way as you'd let him crash on your couch, is kind of the vibe between them.
Perfect.
Without the other player's input. Let's just say that's how Uylsses looks at it.
Absolutely, and if need be, we can always hatch that out later too.
Exactly.
All right, so he has given you your usual, hey, go hit up these guys. They haven't paid in a couple of days, and let you know that the morgue is a must need. Do you want to continue with your collections, or do you want to head straight to the morgue?
I'll continue, or I'll head on to the morgue. I know the guys in question are not going anywhere. They're stuck around Bourbon Street, so I can find them whenever.
Perfect. So, from where you're at, it's about a 25-minute walk, give or take, towards the morgue. As you are walking, go ahead and roll me a wits and awareness check.
Okay, this is my first time playing
No worries.
VTM. How do
So,
I have
so each dot represents a die. So if you have like 3
Okay.
in intelligence and 2 in animal ken, you have 5 dice to roll.
all right. So I have 2 dots in wits and 2 dots in awareness. So I roll 4d10, right?
Yep, 4d10, and then let me know how many of those are. Well, let me know what the numbers are, rather. My brain is.
That's 3, 10, 5, and 2. So 2 bad, 2 good, or maybe 3 bad.
So luckily you had no bestial failures, which is a nat 1.
All right.
You did have 1 failure though, which means that you do gain a single point of hunger. If that gets
Okay.
too high, then you will end up having to feed whether you like it or not. We'll cross that path when we come to it.
Yeah.
But for now, it's just, as you're walking, it's a little out of your way. considering your normal route, so it's just kind of frustrating. And the beast within you is just like, really, we're dealing with this shit. Okay, fine, whatever. But I'm not happy about it.
Right.
All right. So yeah, as you are walking though, you do notice that a couple of the guys that you collect from aren't at their usual corners.
Oh,
They have
jeez.
a very set schedule, and their schedule isn't lining up with the fact that the streets are a little emptier than normal.
I am concerned by this honestly, since that this isn't usual, and businesses, lines of work like ours don't take well to sudden changes.
Yeah,
Also,
no.
if I can't find these guys, that's a pain in the ass.
Mm-hmm. Because not only are they missing, but they haven't given your boss the money that he needs.
Yeah,
All
but
right.
I figured that, like, A, the morgue might have something to do with what's going on, and B, it wouldn't get brought up unless it was important. So,
Mm-hmm. Well, save for the players who are not on the corners, you know, the usual train wrecks that you collect from. The rest of the walk seems pretty quiet, given how quiet this area can be, I guess. Um, and by the time you get to the morgue, uh, let's have Maggie, Baby, and Brillo. You guys are together, correct?
You mean Nevi or Fabi?
Nevi, sorry.
Okay. I just didn't know if I was like holding on to the new child. Like, hi.
It's like,
No,
did
the
we
new
meet her
child is
already?
the new child is coming in momentarily. Be ready for that, by the way, Fabi.
Nice.
Anyway.
The three of us are together. Be that at the morgue or outside.
We're probably all standing outside the morgue. Seems to be a little bit of an argument between the three of us.
All right. Well, in that case, as you approach the morgue, Uylsses, you see these three strange characters having an argument out in front of it. Who would like to describe themselves first?
Say between the three of us, Rosetta stands out the most because she has actual color.
ow.
Go for it.
She has a point.
So between these two guys, these two very pale guys, there is a woman. She's about 5'7", 5'6", with lots of red hair, with the fringes of it being dyed cyan. Up in a ponytail, she's in, button up, some suits with suspenders on it. She's got the red and black makeup, and as you approach, she glances at you, and you immediately get a chill as her, sharp golden gaze lines up with yours. And she just looks away and goes back to looking to the very pale man next to her with the blue eyes.
All right. Who's going to describe themselves next?
I guess I'll describe myself, though my eyes are not blue.
Okay.
What you see is a man standing about 5'8", 5'10". He has extremely pale skin, paler than normal people would, perhaps albino. Long hair and a side ponytail, a earring cusp on one ear with the symbol of Italy on him. He is wearing a turtleneck, black and gold, with a lab coat on him, gloves on. His eyes appear to be a pinkish purple hue that are almost cloudy, as if he is blind. He stands there rubbing his temples as he is looking to the other man next to him, seeming to try to explain to them why exactly he cannot leave. He has piercings, snake piercings on his lip, and 2 piercings each on his eyebrows. The right one is green, the left one is red, and the one on his 2 lips are white.
All right. And would our third participant, I guess, in this conversation like to describe themselves? Hello?
Okay, Bila, that's you.
Sorry, I was muted. It's all right. Feel free to describe yourself.
So standing at 6'5", is a very visually stunning man. He has mid-back length hair that is full of voluptuous natural curls. And he wears very casual clothing, a white button-up with simple black dress slacks and shoes, nondescript, unimportant. But everything about him screams put together, that he put together his entire look with care. He is pale, but not ghostly, with tattoos covering his body, and they are of religious in nature, and his eyes are hidden behind a pair of sunglasses. He also wears a collar with a bell around his neck.
So, yeah, Uylsses, you see these three people as you walk up, and they are arguing about something. What is Uylsses walking in on?
I immediately feel very visually indistinct.
The
So-
conversation going on is the extremely pale one is talking to them both going, Motivo, you do not understand. I cannot just leave my work and go out of nowhere.
Come on, brother. They're not gonna go anywhere. They're dead bodies.
Colorengo, I cannot leave work. I have much to do.
We can get to it later. I want to go out. Plus, how are we ever going to find you a wife if we were stuck in the basement all the time?
I am married to my job. How do you not understand this? You do.
You
Go have
cannot be
fun.
married to your job forever.
You do. Go have fun. Go have a beautiful night. Go smell the roses.
Ah, come on. It's not like you're expecting an appointment or anything.
I could very well be.
So, this is what you walk up
Uh,
to, Uylsses.
Uylsses takes that moment to walk up, take his hat off respectfully, and go, "Gentlemen, ma'am, I believe I had an appointment."
See, I told you.
Looks at him and glares.
See, I told you I might.
The air just got like 5 degrees colder.
Especially as you walk up, you can feel the air literally go cold around this extremely pale one. Just being. See, I told you I had an appointment. I had an appointment.
Oh, come on. You did not have an appointment. He just showed up.
So, Edmund,
Yes. See.
this wasn't technically an appointment. This was a last minute, hey, I'm calling in that favor you owe me.
Motivo. Please.
What?
Take her out. You know how she likes the food here. I am doing a bit of a favor. And it is a last minute appointment. So if you would not mind, you two go have fun. I'll catch up.
I don't think you will.
If
I think you'll use this as an excuse to scamper back onto the house and hide yourself in the basement again.
Can we not talk about it here with the we don't know if they are a warm body.
Okay, fine. I'll drag you out later, though. You owe me now.
Go. See, I owe you. Now go.
Good. And Rosetta hooks her arm with Rhys's and they walk off. Once again, she just side eyes the newcomer. It's like interrupting my time with my brothers.
So Rosetta and Rhys depart into the evening. Edmund, you are left with this very, very different than your previous company stranger.
Ciao.
And The
Well-
text you received regarding this last-minute meeting, it was very short, very quickly written, but it, excuse me. Excuse me, I'm still recovering from the COVID cough. The text read, I know about the murders. I'm sending my guy. If there's any information, make sure he gets it. Signed, L.
A hiss comes under his breath at the thought of having to owe the Camarilla a fucking favor. Ciao.
Hmm.
Welcome. Welcome. You are, Ulyss.
Uylsses.
Uylsses. Welcome. Shall we, talk inside?
What?
I'm sorry, what?
Let's.
See. He walks you through the hallway of the mortuary. It is beautiful. It is polished marble floors as you walk through, each step making a clicking sound across the ground. It is decorated fairly nicely with a bit of an older interior design. And does my boy know that this is another kindred?
Yes, you've worked with his quote-unquote boss and everything in the past. You've never actually met Uylsses, but you know of him. And you do know that he is one that can be trusted.
Do I know his clan?
That is a good question. Go ahead and roll me an intelligence and let's go with, if I can find the thing that does the thing. I swear I'm a professional. Allegedly. Let's go ahead and do intelligence and for this one, because it's clan related, I'll say politics.
Politics. Alright. 1 success. Yay.
You have a feeling he might be a Lasombra, but he might also be a Brujah. You know he hits things, so like that falls under a few things there. But what you do know is that he's not hitting you and you're grateful.
So he is kindred.
He is kindred, you're just not quite sure where on the clan spectrum he lands. You were told once, but you didn't deem it very important at the time.
So, my boy does not fear this. He does not mind, for he is far too old to care about that. He looks towards him and goes, "Shall we have a drink? Do you have a preferred flavor?" As we are walking down a dark hallway towards a back room where he opens a door and you can see a cellar door that has glass windows on it as he makes his way down the cellar.
So, is this like a code phrase that I should know the response to among kindred, or
Do you prefer A, B, O, positive, negative?
Do you need like drugs in there? Do you need alcohol in there? What's your flavor?
Would you like a sippy cup?
Would you
Free
like
sun
a
straw?
I prefer to find it my own way if it's all the same to you. Meaning no offense.
None taken. As you walk down a dark hallway, a dimly lit hallway, a door opens up. There is a male standing there and gestures you in. A dining room table is set up. As he sits down, they pour a glass of a red liquid into his cup, and it doesn't smell like the freshest blood that you could get. It smells of preserves as Edmund sits down. Well, take a seat. Take a seat.
I take a seat across and lean back in my A chair. So, I believe we are acquainted with the same interested parties.
Hmm. You can say that. I do not acquaint myself very much with the Camarilla, as you can tell. This is just a small favor that has been called from way back when.
I'm not with the Camarilla myself. If my word means anything, I'm just doing work for a friend.
Not being with the Camarilla definitely earns you a good position in my home.
Hmm.
Now, what have you come here for?
Well, I was hoping you could tell me that. Our our mutual friend simply told me to swing by the morgue. This isn't on my usual route around town, so um, I figured it had to be important.
Okay. Game Master, what the hell do I know?
All right, so uh, three things that you know, not having to make any rolls because this is just common sense stuff. There has been a very high influx in dead bodies, even by New Orleans standards.
Okay.
A lot of the bodies coming in are ones that you have either had dealings with some of the other stuff you deal with, or you've seen them around and you know they deal in some of the shadier side of the kindred side of things. A couple of them you actually recognize as ghouls to other vampires living out in the bayou. And the third thing that you know is that the latest body that was brought to you is actually not a high ranking, but definitely higher up there, smuggler in New Orleans for those who maybe can't, go out during the day to get some stuff that might not be so kosher and, bring in people, things, whatever is needed to get past customs and stuff like that. The one who was brought in recently, is one of L's personal favorites to work with because of some of the stuff that's been brought in that he's been like, oh no, we're going to do this my way.
So I don't know who's doing it, I just know that there's an increased interest.
There's an increase in bodies, an increased interest, and you recognize a couple of them from the very few outings your sister and Rhys have forced you out in.
Edmund kind of moves his finger across the glass. Some of the blood from the inside starts forming shapes as he pulls it up with his hand using shape of the sanguine scarlement, creating images of the faces of the ones who are dead. And say,
Uylsses makes a little noise of just like, oh, that's cool.
and holds them over his hand as he says, These fine gentlemen and ladies, I have seen them a few times out when I have the unfortunate need to leave my domain. They have all recently come up dead. The increase of business that I have been having is at an all-time high as he moves his fingers. Two of them go back into the glass while one stays up, the most current victim. This one, in particular, is a rather high-up-ranking drug dealer who works with Laron, and he moves it closer towards you to get a better view. Do I know what killed them?
So go ahead and make me an intelligence and medicine check.
Hey, GM.
Yes.
I need to step away for about 10 minutes. Is that going to be okay?
Yeah, that's fine. This is going to take a minute anyway.
Okay, sweet. I'll be right back.
3 successes.
No worries. 3 successes?
See.
Let me roll my dicey real quick. All right, so what you know about the bodies with 3 successes is that they look like they've been exsanguinated by kindred, but with how messy it is, it's hard to tell. Most kindred kills, save for a few here and there, which are far and few in between, are very clean. They're kept under wraps, very much kept on the down low. The latest bodies, especially, look as if maybe they could have been bitten, but then like chunks of flesh were torn out of their throat. One of the bodies had what looked like nail marks dug into its shoulders to a point where there was fractures in the bone. So either this is one of 4 possibilities: either a kindred gone rogue, there's werewolves in your town, somebody is trying to recreate the creepy ass scene from Queen of the Damned, or somebody's on bath salts or some other drug making them do crazy shit. It's kind of hard to tell.
From what I understand, it could be a kindred, it could be a gangrel, but it is messy. Normally we do not leave our victims out so publicly, nor do we do such damage and cause it to be so messy. It could be a gangrel, it could be the werewolves, or someone could be going on a complete murder spree. We do not know. New Orleans could have a serial killer on the loose, but it does not look mortal, and it does not look tame. They seem to allow themselves to rip in and fracture and leave a giant mess without hiding the secrets of the masquerade, which, as you know, is not what we should be doing.
Well, I'm willing to bet it ain't a coincidence that 3 of our associates ended up dying the way they did. Folks that were friends of neckbiters. If it's the werewolves that are doing this, then there ain't much a goddamn thing we can do about it. I don't know if you've ever... Actually, I was going to say, I don't know whether you've ever tried to step to a werewolf. I do know that you haven't, because you're alive.
Lo
Well,
siento.
you know what if it's someone from our side of the tracks, then we're gonna have to go and find them. Can I see the bodies?
Let's stop right there. If it is someone from the Camarilla's doing, that is not my jurisdiction. I am only here giving you the information because I owe Laron a favor. If this happens to come into my domain, or happens to threaten my clan, then it will be my problem. This is a Camarilla problem. They are to be keeping the streets clean, he says this in air quotation marks, and the masquerade secret. Now, whether or not they are doing their job, that is up to them. But as for the bodies, see, you may come see. And he sips at the blood and places it down, standing up and starts walking to starts leading you down the corridor again to a room that seems brightly lit on the inside. But as you stop, he kind of holds his hand out to you. Please, do not touch the equipment, and I apologize if this is a bit harsh. And he kind of snaps his finger, and a female ghoul walks over and kind of sprays you with Lysol. And another one walks over with a tray holding hand sanitizer, and they hold it out to you, like, hold your hands out.
Uylsses kind of, like, seems kind of perturbed from getting Lysol sprayed in his face, but just kind of is just kind of like, all right,
Thankfully, you don't breathe.
and goes along with it.
They squirt the hand sanitizer in your hand before they open up the door, and Edmund walks in. It is extremely clean in there. It is very bright and white in there. Say, except for like the silver trays and everything, clean and polished to perfection. As he goes over to, I don't remember what it's called, the thing that holds all the bodies, as he opens up the gate and pulls out the railing, uncovering the body for him to see.
And as Edmund pulls the sheet back, Uylsses does see that there was a bite or two on the throat, but there are pieces of muscle and sinew missing. There's a couple of spots where it looks like you might be able to see part of the bone of the collarbone.
Does it
This
look like it
body
might
is-
have been? Does it look like it might have been someone who doesn't feed on blood but on flesh?
No. So one thing you do notice is that despite the state of the muscle and the bone of this body being ripped to shreds, it has been drained completely. It looks like a Capri Sun that got squeezed to the very last drop.
So, I have an idea that I have based on outside knowledge, so you can tell me whether whether I'm metagaming, whether my character would actually know this. I damn think that this was a kindred that has gone full beast. Like, is just nuts for, like, either their humanity's all the way down or their hunger is all the way up, or both, and they've just gone feral, essentially.
That is something that your character, especially given your clan, you would know very well. And this very much reminds you of the kindred who have either starved themselves to the point where they just completely go off the rail. There's no humanity left. They are nothing but the beast. Or it could be somebody who just enjoys killing too much and they're fully aware of what they're doing, but they just want to see people suffer. And they
They're
want to
just
instill.
an asshole.
Yeah, they're either feral or an asshole. Take your pick.
For what difference there is. Well, if you're feral, I mean, that's kind of tragic, at least.
Yeah, if it is
So-
somebody that's feral like you've seen in the past, then they have to be put down. If it's somebody who's doing this for the sake of just being a fucking asshole, then it might be a little more
Right.
complicated than you thought.
All right, so I explain as much of my reasoning, and I thank Edmund, right,
See.
for letting me see the body, and let him know that I'll make sure your debt with Laron comes up even.
So, I'm sorry, can you repeat that? My brain.
Sorry.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. Basically, it's just like, Uylsses is just like, hey, from what I'm seeing here, it looks like we have a friend of ours, someone, a kindred, who's either gone feral or is at least acting like one. What that means is there'll be a hunt going on soon, either with me and my associates or the Camarilla.
Game Master, tell me, how many days
Yes.
apart are these murders?
So at first there was one like every few weeks or so, which was, again, on average for how much shady shit goes down in New Orleans. But now the gap is getting shorter and shorter, and there's been maybe 2 days between this body and the last one.
Well,
would-
when was this one discovered?
This one was discovered, let me look at my notes. This one was discovered last night. So it's only been a day.
It's been a day since the last murder. I would assume that we have maybe 1 or 2 more days. The attacks seem to be getting closer and closer though, so I could not tell you when they will be striking.
Do you know if there's been any law investigation so far?
With the Hecata being essentially the police of the clans, would I know if
initially you were able to keep it under wraps, but with how frequent they've become, unfortunately there is now the mortal police are in fact looking into it. And from what, like, even though you don't work with the Camarilla, Edmund, there's the powers that be that are currently acting, since there is no prince in the city, they're surprisingly quiet about the situation. There's been no whispers, no people sent out to investigate, nothing.
I have kept it under wraps as well as I can. Though you can't really keep something like this a full secret. What the public knows is there has been problems, but they are being looked into. He says this with air quotation marks. And
Loves those air quotes.
and we will, how they say nowadays, get to the top of this. See.
Is that what they say these days?
I am unsure.
All right.
So
with that all established, I basically I'd thank Edmund for his help and let him know. I'll talk to Laron about squaring your debts.
This is the debt that I am squaring now, showing you the body and giving you the information that I have.
Yeah. And I turn to go.
Alrighty.
Edmund's going to hand him a business card in case, he ever needs it, and show him out, because that is what a good host does.
All right. Well, with that, you go out into the night and continue your rounds to the evening so far. And while you do that, we are going to go ahead and pivot. We will come back to Rhys and Rosetta momentarily. Maggie, if you could get a second to look at the Lydia chat just for some stuff real quick while we go ahead and bounce over to Lydia, Zelia, and the Malkavian and Nosferatu. Y'all there?
Yeah, I'm reading it now. I can see it happening.
All right, I'll let you guys hash that out in text then while we go over what's happening on this end, because they're about to meet 2 other kindreds who are very upset about their Hecata hiding in the basement again. So, Lydia, despite your best fucking effort to try and push and pull Zelia away from the pretty shiny lights, you find yourself being slowed down because every 2 steps, wait, there's more over here, there's more over there, these ones are rainbow.
I swear I'm going to leave her. She knows her way home.
Zelia, you're just gonna see like her hand kind of just like wave up like the yeah, I will. If she goes skipping down an alley.
I love her.
Okay, so funny thing you should mention that, Zelia, because as you are looking at the lights, you notice Chris is not around.
Oh no.
And Lind is nowhere to be found either.
Oh no.
Like, they're not near Lydia?
Nope. They are gone. You know how in, like, the really dumb comedy animes, there's a blinking outline of where the characters were 2 seconds ago?
Oh god, no.
It's kind of like that.
Okay, well, Zelia notices this, like, and she's about ready to skip off, and she's, like, waving her hand, all of a sudden she, like, stops, slowly turns around, and was like, wait. We're missing 2.
I will say that this is definitely enough of a notice that it breaks your compulsion and you don't want her to count the lights, but now you're missing 2 of your peoples. One of which has very, very unintentional violent tendencies and doesn't know he does it half the time. Good luck figuring out which one of that is.
Yes.
You know, you can't say anything, Zelia. You've been sworn to secrecy by said person.
So yeah, noticing this, Zelia's gonna run back over to Lydia and just be like, Lydia, where's my Chris? And then that other guy.
Oh my god. Lydia?
Sorry, I was reading something and my brain is not processing. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I just want to make sure your mic was having problems again.
No, it's not my mic. It was me.
Yeah,
kind of
Zelia
looks
just
around
been
like, oh,
our idiots are gone.
Shit. Now we're on a mission to go find our idiots.
All right, so you guys are gonna hunt them down?
Yeah.
All right, so I need you both to make me a wits and awareness check. And would you guys say you're doing this with a sense of urgency?
Yeah, just because Zelia, since she knows, she's just kind of like, oh no, there's a murder hobo loose.
Yeah.
Probably not for me that bad, but like, yeah.
All right, so Zelia, I DM'd you that little bit of tidbit from the last chronicle we had. And yeah, so Zelia, I'm gonna need you to make a rouse check.
Okay. How do we do that?
I'm double checking because it's been a hot minute. I promise I am a professional. I am a professional idiot. Alright, so you just roll a d10, and if it's a fail, you gain a hunger. If it's a success, you don't gain a hunger.
I have 4 successes, but one of them is a critical success.
Ooh, so you have basically 6 successes.
Yeah, I have 6 successes.
Alright, and your dice, Zelia?
I'm like, is there an easy way to roll a d10 somewhere?
Honestly, if you Google D10, it'll pull up a thing where you can just click and roll it.
Oh, there it is. Oh, that's badass.
If you're using any, vampire dice app, you could just roll the one.
That too.
Okay.
I forgot
so I
about that,
got
to be honest.
a 6 on the Rhys.
Okay, so you managed to not rise the beast inside and need to feed anytime soon.
Wits and awareness. Let's
Yes.
4. No success.
Any bestial failures?
Zelia!
No.
Okay, thank God. I don't want to deal with bestial failures yet, okay? That's a lot to throw at our new players. So, you're too busy going, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, I can't leave him unattended. Oh fuck, why am I the responsible kindred here? Lydia, as you're looking around, it takes you a little bit, but you do pick up that at least Chris headed towards more of the busy area. And the best way I can describe it is it's like a kid who's staring at a balloon and following it into a crowd. It's that same kind of vibe where you just look and you're just like, oh fuck, he could be anywhere. Problem is that you can't pick up on Lind. I will
have
say
sense-
though. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I do have sense the unseen.
It is not an unseen.
Fucker!
If it says
Where's
anything,
my
he
moron?
rolled 8 successes on vanishing.
This motherfucker!
If he doesn't want to be seen, he's not going to be seen, and he doesn't have to use magic to do it. He can say fuck you. But I will say, with your sense the unseen, you do pick up a couple of other kindred vibes towards the other side of the crowd in the direction that Chris went. And in the distance, above the crowd, you can see a woman with ginger hair and green stripes and a very tall blonde man.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the thing that's happening.
Wait, did Beetle come back yet?
Oh,
Beetle
yeah,
back
sorry,
in?
I forgot to say.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's coming. The direction Chris went is coming from that direction.
Direction of the very pretty people, yes.
I'm grabbing Zelia. We're going. It's like they went this way.
Alright.
I know. I also sorry. I know I need to work on my accent. My brain is just not working for it.
You're fine. Nobody's gonna be mad at you.
I mean, did you not hear the horrible Italian accents that me and Mags are doing? Like,
Anyway, she grabs Zelia's arm. Is just like this way.
Okay.
Alright, I'm setting a DM to Tia real quick. Or not to Tia, frick. Ah!
Yes.
Yes.
The new child. New child is Tia, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
yes,
baby.
it is.
Sorry, I'm trying to keep track of my notes. It's not working very well. There's too many pink-haired characters in this game.
Yeah, no, it's baby.
You're okay. You're doing great. Mwah.
they look like sisters. I'm not surprised you're confused.
Alright, so you start dragging Zelia, who is currently having this crisis of, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. I'm gonna get in so much trouble. Oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. And you start pushing your way through the crowd, and unfortunately, it's even with your superior vampiric skills, it's a little hard to navigate. There's drunkards, people are elbowing, pushing, partying, and I'm gonna go ahead and flip a coin for this one. Heads is Zelia, tails is Lydia. Zelia, you trip and fall face first into the tall blonde man's chest.
Why am I not surprised?
Rhys, there is a hot pink-haired woman suddenly face planting into you.
He sort of blinks down at her a little owlishly, places his tattooed hands on her shoulders, and like gently leans her back. Are you alright?
She's just gonna look up, just kind of blinks him. She's like, "Now I am."
Gives her a smile full of stunning white teeth.
Yes, now I really am. Can't remember what I was doing here, but yes, I'm doing good now.
I believe you are on your way.
Oh.
I believe I was on the way to falling into his chest.
No, now, Bastalito, he says, looking at Rosetta.
She just friggin'. She looks like she's getting ready to kill this girl.
I can see her like standing behind him, like peeking out around his shoulder, like, the fuck?
She's just right next to him, you know, arm in arm, just looking at this girl like, the audacity of this bitch.
Oh my god. Oh, sorry, I had to take a breath there because I couldn't stop giggling.
He looks down at Rosetta and he's like, Pastelito, come on now. She just tripped.
And you'd think one like her would be better balanced. Well, she does seem a bit empty in the head.
I'm gonna walk over now.
Yeah, your Malkavian has just face planted into very obviously a kindred and is now just like, ha. while the other one is just like, fuck
Lydia's just
you.
like, oh shit, no. It's like, this is either gonna go really well or really bad, and I cannot risk it. So Lydia...
Who had Lydia as the team mom for Vampire Bingo, guys?
Me! It's the free space, what are you talking about?
It was the free
Anyway.
space.
Anyway.
She walks over, she looks up at him, just, I'm so sorry about my friend, and pulls her back like, bitch!
Oh, don't worry. No harm done. She just tripped, that's all.
Sorry, Luna is having a crisis.
Gay panic set in.
Yeah, no, fucking. I feel like at this point Lydia's feeling that panic too. She's like,
She's like, Zelia, you lucky bitch.
oh yeah.
It came down to a flip of a coin. Don't blame the DM for this one.
I mean, that's also how Zelia was introduced, you
I
know,
was
she
gonna
kicked in the
say
door and
that's
fell on her
such a
back
Zelia
anyway.
thing. That's such a Zelia
Yeah, 'cause-
thing, like.
This is just how Zelia is, guys. She can't be introduced without either tripping or falling somehow.
Yeah.
So Rosetta looks to Lydia and just goes, you should keep a better leash on your friend there.
Oh, shit.
I do not react well to that statement. Kind of
Oh, heck.
straighten myself up. Look her up and down. Just, Don't say anything, just...
Fierce stare off.
Rhys turns towards Rosetta and he gently cups her chin in his hand and he tilts her head up towards him and he says, Testoral, my darling, you know you have nothing to fear from other women. The only one I ever want is you.
Oh, don't you go speaking those words to me. This is not one of your telenovelas. But I appreciate it anyway. She, like, nuzzles his arm. It's just totally tamed, you know?
He turns and he looks at the others and he says, it is nice to meet you. My name is Rhys. This is my lovely wife, Rosetta.
She doesn't even
I'm
look
sorry,
at you.
my freaking mic was having a problem for a second. Just kind of nods my head. Lydia kind of nods her head a bit. Just, Lydia. Then I look at Zelia like, I swear to God.
After hearing the word wife, Zelia's gonna kind of like re-straighten her, like you'll see her hands, like she just like kind of rubs her face, like she's like rearranging her face, kind of like rubbing, and then she just puts her hand out to Rosetta and she's like, oh, wife, okay, hi, I'm Zelia, I'm going to ignore the hot man, hello. Oh my god.
Looks at her hand, and then looks at the girl and just goes, I appreciate you attempting to ignore him. I'm
Zelia's
very
just gonna
aware of
high-five.
how hard of a thing that is to do.
Zelia's just gonna kind of pull her hand back and high-five her own hand, like, oh, okay.
That is the saddest thing ever, a self high five. I feel so bad now.
Okay.
Oh
Finally get to play the bitch character I've always wanted to play.
no! Embrace your inner bitch, honey. Anyway, so while this is going down, while introductions are being made, Lydia, notice that suddenly there is no vibe from Chris whatsoever. You have lost the trail.
Damn it, not again.
Is something the matter?
Oh, we were just looking for our friend.
Well, I guess I could play nice and help you out. What do you look like? Maybe we saw him pass by.
You already described Chris.
Yeah, so Lydia describes this very much Hot Topic, Spencer's goth-looking guy with like a rainbow faux hawk going on, carrying an upside-down book, wearing a black suit, and just like a very much Hot Topic, Spencer's goth-looking guy with like a rainbow faux hawk going on, carrying an upside-down book, wearing a black suit, and just like a very much Hot Topic, Spencer's goth-looking guy with like a rainbow faux hawk going on, carrying an upside-down book, wearing a mixture of like pastel goth, and maybe some braver. We're not quite sure. If you two saw them, though, I would like you to make a wits and awareness check for me.
I got 3 successes.
Okay.
Wait, are all of us?
No,
think
just
just me and you and Belo.
Rosetta and Rhys, because you two already made your rolls, and
Okay, what am I rolling?
so it's gonna be wits and awareness. However many dots you have in wits and how many in awareness is gonna be how many dice you roll. So if you have like 2 in one, 3 in the other, it's 5 dice.
Okay, 3 dice for me.
Okay. So you each got successes?
I'm still trying to figure out this app. It's a little confusing.
Are you using
That
the
is
mobile
valid.
one?
Yes, the
Alright, you see-
VTM dice one.
You see where at the bottom where it says dice pool?
Yes.
You just put it, keep going until you hit 3, and then you hit roll, and it does the rest for you.
It's alright, it's a
I
learning
got
curve.
3 successes.
Nice.
All right. So between the two of you, you have definitely seen this character. As you're very aware of the kindred presence in New Orleans, it didn't take long for you to put 2 and 2 together. This is the Malkavian who has been left unattended, and you both know that that is not a good thing to have. But by the time that you went to do something about it was when Zelia fell into you, and the last you saw, he was walking down an alleyway that was very not well lit at all.
Now Rosetta points to the alley and says, "He went that way. We were about to follow him, but then you two showed up."
Well, there are many of us and one of him, so I believe it should be a good odd if he's in trouble that we can help him.
If we're lucky, we won't find a corpse. He takes his hand and just starts walking in that direction.
You two follow?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was about to say, are you leaving Zelia unattended? But then I realized.
Absolutely fucking not.
So she's at least secretly in the back of her mind is like, yes, a leash. A leash. A leash would be amazing.
No.
Just-
You know what she's gonna get? You know what? No. You know what she's gonna get for Zelia? She's gonna get one of those fucking child backpack leashes. And put it on Zelia.
It's gonna be a corgi shape. It'll be fine. Anyway, so it's about this time that you guys start heading towards the alleyway that Lydia, your phone starts going off like crazy.
I
As you
pull
look
it
at
out and see who it is.
36 missed calls from Octavia.
Oh no.
Maggie,
I'm
would you
going
mind
to
reprising
immediately
Octavia for a
call her
brief
back.
moment?
That's perfectly fine.
All right. So, as you're walking, Zelia, I will say that because of your relationship with Chris and how you two are connected, you're hyper fixated on following these two to find him, so you don't have to worry about losing sight of them or losing your trail or anything. Octavia, back at Lydia's family estate, your phone finally starts ringing, and as it rings, you hear, "The bitch is calling. Mom is calling."
Octavia sighs relief and goes, "Oh my god, thank whoever's up there," and she just answers it. "What the hell? I've been calling you! What happened?"
I apologize. We got caught up in some things. What's going on?
Did you order another kid?
What?
Did you order another kid? Because one just showed up on the doorstep.
Octavia, what are you talking about?
There is a kindred here. Her name's Tia. She looks really confused, and I think she thinks that all of this is a dream, so I'm pretty sure she's new to this. And I'm not qualified to handle this. I'm in the middle of a freaking Black Ops game with my crazy aunt. I can't. The team is losing. I can literally hear screams coming from downstairs.
Just in the distance, you just hear, "Ah!"
I don't know what to do. When are you gonna be home?
How long would it take me to get back?
It's about a half-hour drive in your beautiful fancy sports car you have. 20 if you happen to ignore the speed limit. Allegedly.
I mean, I could talk my way out of a ticket.
Let's see if the dice agree with that.
I look at my phone. I look at I'm just. I'm in the middle of something. I can maybe be there in an hour.
I'll give it cookies and tell it to sit still, but I don't know how to deal with kids. At least not ones this old, this young. Whatever this is for us.
I'm full disclosure. Lydia's having war flashbacks at this point. She's having war flashbacks to Octavia.
I don't know.
Was that Capri Sun straw?
I'll try and feed it, but like, I don't know what to do. Your doctor friend showed up and was like, "Hey, this is for Lydia," and then dropped her off. Literally drove away, sped. He left skid marks on the freaking road.
I just had that redone.
Yeah, there's gravel everywhere, all over the yard. So either she is kindred and she's dangerous, or she's kindred, she's harmless, or she is mortal and he just kidnapped someone.
I'm gonna put my phone on mute real fast.
Lydia, oh, God damn it!
And I'm gonna run up to Zelia.
As soon as you put it on mute from behind you here, so what did I miss? And Chris is just standing there at the opening of the alleyway.
Don't do that.
Do what?
Zelia!
There's a lot of things I could do. I could pluck somebody's eyeball out of their skull. I could pull words from thin air. I could, if I wanted to, I could shatter the street, but that might not be really nice because this is a really old street and there's exactly 687 bricks in this exact section of street, and he is rambling now. If you want his attention, you're going to have to physically break his attention.
That's the plan. She's gonna like grab him by the collar, pull him down. Just Chris. Zelia went that way. I need to go home. Octavia just called me.
You can count on me. And suddenly his accent changes in like half a breath.
I'm used to this at this point.
You are, but the people around you might not be.
No, this is true. So I'm just gonna be like, okay, send you back on the way. They're actually looking for you.
How would they be looking for you? I'm not lost, or am I lost? Perhaps I am lost. What is really found?
All right, with that, I will see you back at home. Goodbye.
So you speed off to go check on the situation at home.
Yeah.
Luckily, Rosetta, Rhys, and Zelia didn't get too far ahead because you were able to keep pace with them. And Chris just kind of starts quietly walking behind them, waiting for them to notice.
Do we notice?
I don't know. Roll me some wits and awareness, and we'll see. Let's see if it beats his dexterity and his subterfuge.
I got 4 successes.
Okay.
3 successes.
My dice hate me. I got 1 success. Fucking figures for Zelia.
Well, shit.
That's so on brand for her, though.
I know, she's just so, like, bloodhound. Like, she's just like, no, gonna follow behind them on a mission.
Not only is it so easy for you guys to turn around and be like, what the fuck, bro? But especially you, Zelia, given your history with Chris, you notice that he looks a little hungrier than normal as he rolled 3 bestial failures on 6 dice.
Oh, shit.
He still smiles. He looks pleasant. Just a little hungrier than normal. Just, I hope I didn't frighten you.
I heard you coming from a mile away.
Not at all.
Oh, here you go, pink one.
Zelia's gonna be super excited they found him and just, like, literally, like, try to tackle him to the floor.
Oh, he catches her easily, and he's, you know how, like, there's the kids that cling to their parents and they just walk around like nothing?
Yeah.
It's basically that. He's just, as she clings to him, he pats her head and just walks over, like, chest to... Well, technically it would be chest to Zelia to chest. But he just kind of looks both of you up and down. Huh. Well, that's fun. Your aura, it's like cotton candy mixed with acid. The
Pleasant
hydrochloric kind, not the drug kind.
Who's he saying this to?
He's saying this to you two.
Oh, okay, to both of us. Okay, I was like,
Yeah,
he
he's-
just looks up at Rhys and just like, oh, that's the sweetest thing we've heard tonight.
I'm not sure I would be cotton candy. I'm not that sweet.
Well, I must
No,
say,
you're more
acid.
like... He pauses, leans in, sniffs your hair for a second. Like,
He's unfazed.
The way he's acting, you two can tell this man has no clue what personal boundaries are. There is no such thing as a personal bubble. And he's sniffing. At what point he, like, takes your finger and licks it, tastes the air for a second, and just, no, you're right, not cotton candy. It's like if somebody put salt in a cotton candy machine and seasoned it with arsenic. Ooh, arsenic, that's a fun one. I wonder what happened if it turned a skin green.
I was going to say I'm more like a well-made caramel flan.
He just kind of blinks at you a couple of times and just, well, I hope you have a wonderful day, and turns around and walks away with Zelia still clinging to him like a koala.
Zeta just watches them go and just goes, you know, I think we're going to have to put a mask on you when we go out. It's attracting too many weirdos.
I thought that was what you liked about me.
Let's go home.
All right, so you guys are heading back to go meet up with Edmund, and I'm guessing?
Yep.
All right, so we'll let y'all go and do that. I did do some dice rolls while y'all were talking, and your walk is pretty uneventful. That was probably the most eventful thing that's happened thus far. And I'd say you're about a good 20 minutes or so away from the morgue, so you've got a good 20-minute walk ahead of you. Meanwhile, bouncing over to our player who has been very, very patient, and I appreciate it for setting up the story, over with Octavia and Tia. So, Tia, I went to the doctor tonight because you felt off. Something just didn't quite feel right, and you really wanted to get to the bottom of this. And the doctor kept asking you some really weird questions, asking you if you've been, wanting to taste blood, if you felt like turning into a bat, weird stuff like this. Stuff that makes you wonder if he should have a medical license. And eventually, after all this line of questioning, he basically said, hey, I'm going to take you to see a specialist. They're right down the road. And he dropped you on the doorstep. Excuse me. Dropped you on the doorstep of this beautiful manor, long since converted old plantation style house to a nice manor with several of the gardens turned into like orchards and stuff like that. And he told you
I'm sending a picture. Give me a second.
Okay.
Cool.
He dropped you on the doorstep, knocked on the door, and then jumped in the car and took off before you could even turn the gas on. Like, he revved it as soon as he turned the key and he was gone. Just leaving you there in the middle of the night on this doorstep.
Tia is questioning if someone spiked her drink with like PCP or something. She is convinced that she's been like roofied or something, and this is some weird dream. But yeah, she's gonna kind of look around. She has pastel pink hair, with a very long ponytail that reaches her mid back, and two, kind of like cone-shaped buns on either side of her head. Depending on how you look at them, they could either be like little horns or little cat ears.
Yeah.
Very whimsy goth, very pastel goth. And yeah, she's kind of just looking at this plantation, and then immediately gets on her phone like, "Hey, Ma, I'm gonna be home late tonight. Tell Dad I love him. I'll call soon." and then, kind of looks around before, like, knocking on the door, like, hello? Mr., Miss, or Mix Specialist?
Oh.
Hello?
Inside the house.
Octavia is playing games as she hears the knocking with, super sense of vampire ability.
When you hear the knock, you also note that it's not a gentle knock like the usual people come by. It is somebody is pounding on the door, almost like they're trying to break in, and suddenly nothing.
And then a gentle knock comes through, and she's like, fuck? She takes her headset off, dashes up the stairs with her, unnatural speed as a vamp, and opens the door. What you see in front of you is almost a 6-foot tall female, eyes bright golden, like owl eyes staring down at you. She has short black hair on one side, white on the other side, a mole near her left eye. As she looks down at you, she is wearing very much, against her super pale skin, is very much black, black on black. As she looks down at you, she blinks, her head tilting again, almost owl-like, as she looks you up and down. Oh shit. Hi.
Hi. Oh, I forgot to mention, Tia is 5'6" in her 4-inch demonias. She is 5'2" without them. But yeah, she's wearing her demonias, and she's kind of like, hi, are you the specialist that Doc was talking about?
She thinks for a moment, looks over at the skid marks. Has Octavia ever met this specialist?
Oh yeah, several times. He's come to you guys with people who have been, excuse me, who have had, like, ghoul encounters or just dealt with, in general, not so kosher spooky shit. But he's never just dumped somebody on your front porch and took off before.
Listen, I'm like 95% sure that this is like a roofie or a PCP, so if you give me like a drink with some charcoal in it, I should be good. I kind of have a shift at the Haunted Mansion like at 5, so I'd really prefer some sleep.
Place her hand on her shoulders and pull her in. I do have Octavia's old sheet, and she does have 5 in strength and 5 in brawl. She grabs her by the shoulders, yanks her in.
Jesus, you're strong. Fuck. What do you lift?
Sits her down on the couch and goes, "Don't move. Don't even. Don't. I would say don't breathe, but you know. Here, just She kind of looks around and hands you like an etched sketch and just goes, "Mess with this. Give me like 2 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Is any of Lydia's ghouls around? Is Nick around?"
Oh, Nick, at this time of night, he is currently down at the bar, earning Mardi Gras reads on shift.
Motherfucker.
Let's go!
So, you unfortunately have no choice but to call Lydia yourself, which results in the phone call that we all heard earlier.
So eventually, I call her, and I get in hold with her?
Yeah, so you get a hold of her, the phone call where she called you back after you called so many fucking times. You were blowing up her phone, she wasn't answering. Never happens, something was wrong. And suddenly she called you back. Everything got kind of sort of handled, I guess.
And this is where it's leaving off. Okay, so...
Yes, Octavia, we're picking up after the phone call was hung up.
Octavia hangs up. And turns her head towards her and goes, "So great news. Great news. And she does like the air quotation marks. The specialist should be here soon. She's gonna.
Are you actively trying to lie?
Well, she does. She said that if Lydia was a specialist, it's like the specialist should be here soon-ish. She is running a little late. She didn't realize that she was gonna, have you here. But it's all good. Is any of the other ghouls around?
The only one who came with you was Nick. He was the only one that survived what happened back in San Diego.
All right. Do you play Black Ops?
Not really. And she kind of like shows her phone, and she's playing some like Otome game on her phone. She's like, don't worry, I'm entertained.
Okay, great.
Are you like the secretary or something? This is, I gotta admit, there are some weird locations here in New Orleans, but this is a really weird doctor's office.
It's not a doctor's office. It is a kindred office. Take that information how you will. Be right back. And she's just gonna go downstairs. I'm coming, Ava!
Oh, what? Oh.
My people need me. She's gone.
You see Tia look at her phone, literally Googling, what is a kindred? Thinking some weird medical term that she's never heard of.
So, fun fact, if you look at kindred, it's German for child.
So yeah, if that's the result that oh, child, did this doctor take me to a fucking cult? Where am I? And then she's gonna stand up and start walking towards the door like, fuck this. Nope, this is some weird cult shit. Nope, I'm gonna go to bed. I'm just gonna go sleep.
So, as soon as you get to the door, it swings wide open, and Lydia, this beautiful blonde woman, is standing there looking exhausted, stressed out, pissed off, and ready to either strangle somebody or cry. We're not sure which yet.
Strangled or be strangled?
That's Sebastian's job.
Ooh.
No, that bitch dead. Fuck that guy.
Tia is gonna look up at Lydia, and her brain is instantly like, well, I suppose I could stay. I mean, if it's a cult with hot people.
Oh,
but
she is
doesn't say it.
absolutely fucking stunning.
But she doesn't say it. She just kind of looks up at her and she's like, listen, lady, be straight. Is this a cult? Like, did this doctor drop me off at some cult?
He's gonna, like, lead her back inside, be like, can I sense that this is a fucking kindred?
Oh yeah, no, because she has no idea that she actually is turned, and
oh,
that
no, not again.
like, she is maybe 24 hours old.
Hey, at least she was older than me.
If Lydia's saying, oh, not again, Tia's gonna be like, do I have cancer? Is this like a weird thing of cancer?
From downstairs, you just hear,
Can
no, you're good, I checked.
someone tell me what the fuck is going on? Please?
Just, I'm gonna call downstairs, just, thank you, Octavia.
Alright, so, real quick, while you guys do that, we have our final player finally at the table.
Yes, I am sending them
Woo!
their reactive so that they can switch it out. And I will start up their thing I'm gonna do. It's gonna be in player chatter. Just when you're ready.
I have never. This is new to me.
Don't worry.
It's super simple.
So
Anyway.
I just. How the fuck do I? Well, oh, okay. You sent the image. I see.
Yeah, it has to have a transparent
I
background.
have to save it again.
Yeah, you have to save it, and then when you put it in reactive, you can just set it to be that it'll light up when you're talking and it will dim when you're not talking.
Cole, save me from all these anime characters.
No, it's not happening. We work with these
He's
anime
gonna show
characters.
you
I'm
the
not
most
an
anime
anime
ever.
character. Fuck you, I resent that.
Anyway.
Fucking image. I'm a dumbass most days. What fucking file is that? Downloads, bitch. All right, that shouldn't be where it goes. Sorry, listening.
Oh, you're good. I just... it's
give
so weird hearing this outside of work.
You give me so many vibes from LA by Night. I love it.
Who, me?
Yes.
Oh, thank
Ooh,
you.
yeah, no true. No, no true. Very
Alright.
true.
Okay,
Boys,
so
quit
save.
your shit. You're gonna wrestle, go outside. Sorry, dogs are being assholes.
So how do I?
There we go. You're good.
Oh, is that? Did it pick? Did it work?
Yep.
Yep,
All right.
you're good.
Cool. Bet the brains.
All right. So, fast forward, or rather, rewinding to part of the evening. Our final vampire joining us for the evening sent his friend slash coworker slash whatever happens to work for the day, buddy Uylsses, out to go deal with some collections for people who work on his turf, and to go check out some dead bodies that have been rather concerning with a serial killer that seems to be on the loose. While he has been sending Uylsses to go handle that, Laron, would you like to describe yourself and let me know perhaps what you're doing this fine January 31st New Orleans evening?
So Laron is he's sort of like doing his normal rounds. He's got his nice he's not dressed fully to the nines, but he's pretty dressed up, looking a little dapper, looking like he's ready for a night on the town for a bit.
He's dressed to the sevens.
He's dressed to the sevens, yeah. Laron is leaving his humble abode and stretching out into the night. He always passes through a local neighborhood whenever he's out, just making his rounds and doing stuff. So there's a neighborhood nearby. He's like saying hello to somebody. Oh, hello, Mama D. Make sure you're keeping those kids taken care of now. And he like keeps going down. It's like, oh, hey, look, child, street lights be on. I need you to get back in that house now, okay? And it's sort of just like strolling through town. He's well known in this little area. And he is knowing that this like serial killer stuff is going on. He's kind of looking out for some other details. He's trying to like see if any of his contacts that he's made over the years have anybody that they know who's been personally affected by the serial killer. And it's sort of like in that process of like looking around for any signs. So sort of just like doing his normal thing. He's probably going to a nearby bar if he can.
Perfect. So that actually ties in perfectly because the morgue is on the opposite end of town that you would have been in. And that's where Uylsses usually does his part of the work anyway because, well, will you boys knock it the fuck off? I swear to God.
No.
Sorry, the dogs are roughhousing in the background. It's almost time for nightly zoomies. Anyway. So, since Uylsses always usually has an easier time working on the rougher side of town and everything and all that fun stuff, as you're strolling through saying your nightly good evenings, hellos and everything, you happen to get a text from the local doctor who is aware of the kindred situation but has not been turned or anything like that. He's just kind of a neutral Switzerland style contact for all the kindred in New Orleans, especially given that there is still a power gap. Nobody knows what happened to the previous prince, whether he's dead, vanished, or what. Nobody wants to take it up on the off chance that he comes back. So he sends you a text to get just very cryptic. Best way I can describe it is it looks like when you had to do the TT9 back in the early 2000s, you type too fast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's got like little like errors marks and shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a burner.
he's got a few burners per a couple of other people he worked with. So the gist of the text, from what you gather, is that there's a new baby kindred in town, and it's been dropped off with somebody that you know but you haven't gotten to meet yet, by the name of Lydia.
I guess then I'm assuming. So Lydia's like well known, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So while you are one of the oldest families that's been here in New Orleans, Lydia's is not nearly as old as the family that you came from, but definitely older. Before she was turned, she was, correct me if I'm wrong, Luna, but she was third generation Nolans?
Her in Nolans, she's like fourth or fifth. They've been there for a while.
Okay, fair. But you do...
her husband was like third generation.
That's what it was. So you do know of her over the years. You do know of her family. They were, back during the civil rights movements, they were out there, pushing for all the right changes so that everybody could have equal rights. Before that, they were fighting for the North despite living in the South, stuff like that. They were working their asses off because they believed that everybody deserved equality.
Okay, so me and Lydia probably from similar. We've heard of each other. I've heard of that family over the time because Laron's been around for like
Yeah, and
he's been around since the birth of Louisiana itself, right? So like
she, if it says anything, she was turned in 1911.
Yeah, so like they haven't crossed paths yet just because they both had very different lifestyles at the time, and then she left New Orleans for a while and now she's back. You do know that she's been back for a few years now, but kind of laying low, doing her own thing, trying to reestablish herself.
Right.
But
so
you do know where the family estate is. You do know how to get in contact with her if you need to, and if you wanted to, you could just show up at her door.
Ben, that's exactly what the fuck I'm doing. Laron is nice. He's polite motherfucker. He's from good stock. He can hold himself when he needs to hold himself. So he's gonna send like, I'm assuming he's got ways to like contact, because I don't know, do people live in like highfalutin homes, or is it like, are these like estates? Are these like mansions?
I sent a picture of her estate to the player session to the player chatter.
So then we definitely have the
picture is in player chatter, but for those who are watching on the stream, it is a long since reformed plantation style house. The plantations have long been since turned into orchards and farming for just for people who need to make a quick buck, or maybe they need some help making ends meet, stuff like that. They can come work for a day or so, get some money, head home, all that kind of stuff. Or if they just need to feed their families, all that fun stuff.
Okay.
It is a very elegant house. It has these beautiful wooden features all over it. There's a pool in the back. Like it's fucking pretty.
Okay.
Like if I could afford to live there, I would.
Bet. All right. So Laron is definitely like sent ahead notice to whomever runs her estate to like let her know that he's on his way. Just a courtesy hello. He knows about, obviously he's aware of that this newborn has been dropped off there, but he's not gonna make that his like core goal. He's here to make communication.
The kid being dropped off just happens to line up with what's going on.
To line up and work out the way, like in such a way that he doesn't have to, if for instance, if Lydia is attempting to hide that information from people, Laron's not going to try to let that cat out the bag too soon. But he's just curious. He's if he could help take care of a newborn, why not? He's been here long enough, so yeah, he's going to be on his way to Lydia's, keeping his phone on him in case Uylsses reaches out about any problems.
All right, so as you're heading towards Lydia's, it's about 25-30 minutes if you drive outside of town, about 45 for a person to walk, but for kindred you can either sprint it, you could drive, you can do whatever you want. Like you could make it in 10-15 minutes, 20 if you wanted to drive, something like that.
I'm driving style.
you got the pretty one out tonight.
No, he's got the Cadillac caddy out, baby. Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh my.
I do have a GM question real fast.
Yes.
Did my Lincoln survive from San Diego?
It survived, and your father, your however many descended times great grandniece or nephew, not sure which, because I have it written down in my notebook that is in the car and I'm not going out there to dig for it. Fuck that. Your great grand descendant also left you the matching Lincoln to go with it.
Fuck
That they built back from the ground up because they saw pictures of, oh, great grandma Lydia had this cool car. It's like it is first generation off the line Lincoln that you own. So anyway,
love that for me.
As Laron heads towards Lydia's estate, he does get a text from Uylsses kind of outlining what he got from the Hecata working at the morgue, Edmund. The bodies are exsanguinated. There is evidence of bang marks, but also muscle being torn, pieces of flesh missing, bones are fractured, like nails have dug in so deep that they have almost scratched the bone itself. And I will let Daniel decide whether or not he texts him about his theory.
Uylsses does. He texts. He kind of talks around what happened because he doesn't want to say anything explicit over over text message that could possibly be traced and break the masquerade. So
Well, we don't have
he
a
says,
a Signal account or something like that.
That's what, that's a good point actually.
It's modern times, baby. Let's go.
You know what?
Encryption.
I will totally say, if you guys want, you can have that for your private one-on-one conversations.
Bad.
All right. In that case, he texts. Bodies were drained and mangled. Definitely one of ours. Probably a feral. We'll go hunting soon.
You said probably a feral, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Kindred, who's lost it.
Yeah. Laron text back. Sounds good. If you got a spot to start looking, let me know and I'll head out there as soon as I can. I need to make a couple stops real quick, check in on a couple folks.
Uylsses sends a thumbs up gif.
I'm just picturing that Will Ferrell gif from
It's
the Inkerman.
No, it's a Vault Boy from Fallout.
Oh, there you go. Even better. Just that bam. So that's the text you get
I've
back.
never played this game. He keeps telling me.
It's from a game?
I wanted to, but all I know is it's a moving picture. This is so cool. Anyway,
So strange.
so it takes you no time at all to get to Lydia's estate. As you pull up, you do see really, really dark skid marks on the road from where somebody peeled out like a bat out of hell. There is gravel kicked all over the place, and it looks like they might have knocked over a fence post on their way out.
Okay.
Yeah, that fence went down again.
Someone's gonna have to clean that up now. So he gets out of his car, he smooths the suit out a bit. He's like, all right, let's go. And he walks up to the door, rings the bell, I guess, and awaits further encounters in further communication.
All right, so inside the house, Lydia, you are in the process of trying to figure out what the fuck, how the fuck, why the fuck, and who the fuck, when all of a sudden you hear ding, 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 ding from the doorbell. And unfortunately for you, Nick is at work.
Damn it!
You want me to get
I
in?
gotta make that
For
money.
not appearing in this instance.
Octavia
I
just
know,
calls
like
out,
my gay BFF isn't here. Anyway,
Octavia calls out, you want me to get it?
please.
And Octavia rushes up to go get it and opens the door. You also see the black and white haired girl looking up at you.
Which one? I'm trying to make sure I'm looking at all the pictures. Not everyone has their name next to it.
So
this
Octavia is just temporary appearing from our other story as a fill-in character.
Got you.
So you
Edmund is their main character.
You'd see a
Okay.
5'9" girl with bright, almost owl-like golden eyes, half black hair, half white hair, a mole under her right eye, and wearing all black, looking up at you like, who's the fuck is this? You have never seen her before.
Laron is always on his swagger game. So door comes up. He's like, "Oh, hello.
Oh.
Are you whom I'm looking for? Is this Lydia?"
Nah, I'm
You?
Octavia.
Nice to meet you, Octavia. My name is Laron Dubois. I'm just here to go talk to the owner of this fine home. You new here? I've never seen you around before.
Very new. Very, very. I will go ahead and get Lydia. Come on in. And she starts walking in.
He walks in right along. He's like sort of looking at the place like, this is such a lovely home. I done passed by this a couple times now, but I ain't never got myself an opportunity to see inside. This is magnificent, if I do say so myself.
She
Lydia,
Oh, I
Is it sad
love
that I'm
this
expecting
guy
Octavia?
already.
Octavia like
Is it sad that I'm expecting Octavia to just scream, "Mom"?
that's what I was expecting to do. Octavia like stops, turns around, looks at him, like looking directly at him. Lydia, someone's at the door, and starts making her way back to the basement.
I guess he wasn't told to come, so he was like, all right. Is there like a chair or something like that?
Oh
Or
yeah,
is there
there's a
stuff to
couple of
look at?
chairs.
Lydia herself
paintings all
is-
over. There's chairs you can sit on. This is a very well-kept southern house, and you can tell by Octavia's mannerisms she was not, in fact, raised in the South. You never yell for your mama like that.
Mm-hmm. So Laron is like, looking at the paintings and stuff, sort of just like idling by. He's just kind of like keeping his composure about himself. He's just, looking at stuff, and then after a moment, if it takes too long for Lydia to be on her way, he's going to probably just take a seat in a sitting room.
I was trying to say they're in the parlor.
Oh, they're in the parlor?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I've been trying to say that for the past like 3 minutes.
I'm tremendously sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, you're
Sorry about that.
good.
I'm trying to wrangle a ton of players in my defense.
You're
You're good.
So she's in the parlor. I'm guessing that's like right next kitty corner. Like once you walk in the door, you probably see them, right?
Yeah, she's sitting with Tia.
Yeah. So I guess he turns, sees Lydia, sees Tia, and goes like, "Hello, ma'am. I would love to, do a nice little curtsy and bow, but I don't have my hat with me today. My name is Laron Dubois. I believe you are." And he looks at the photo on the wall and looks back at her.
Tia knows its name. Tia knows its name very well.
Uh-oh. That's scary.
You'll find out
GM.
why.
GM.
Yes.
I know this name, right?
You are very familiar with him and his family name, especially after you returned. You were made aware of just how deep and strong the Dubois line ran in New Orleans.
Okay.
Your family took some time, but by the time of your personal peak, you guys were about on par with the kind of pull that you had.
Okay. I'm going to stand up, walk over, and just kind of look, because she's a bit shorter than him. And to what do I owe this pleasure?
Oh, nice to meet you, my lady. I have heard that you've been around in this area. You had left some time ago. I was planning on meeting you, some 30, 40 years back, but unfortunately, it looks like our paths couldn't quite cross then. But good to see that you're back in town. Wanted to check in and make a presence known and make some acquaintance, if you will. Try to keep, friends as close as possible, if you understand my drift.
I do. But again, there's so much going on this evening. May I ask why you're here tonight?
Oh, tonight I just happen to be out and about, and again, there's no time like the present. Like I said, I was trying to make some acquaintance now while I didn't have anything too pressing on my schedule. My apologies if this is an unfortunate time. Is there anything I can do to assist you? Some southern comforts and kindness, you know how we do down here.
Oh, of course. I look back at Tia, and again, this isn't, I hate to say it this way, this isn't my first rodeo of taking in a new kindred. This happened back a little over 20 years ago now in San Diego. With Octavia, the one you just met.
Oh, are you saying this out loud? Or?
No, I'm letting you
okay.
know
You're
that.
just letting me know that. Okay. Yeah, of course.
Of course, I know you're a kindred. I turned to you, kind of, leveling, and just, this one was just dropped off. I've been trying to understand why.
Poor thing. It's always a shame to see a young one left behind by their family. Do you mind if I have a word with her or so?
I'm gonna look at Tia.
What is Tia making of this situation, by the way?
Tia
Tia
is
knows
so
of
confused.
his. Yeah, because Tia would know of Laron's reputation.
Probably been into one of his like human seafood boils.
Oh, easily. Them crawdad boils, man, nothing like them.
Have
want
the
crawdad,
best, the
dang it.
finest seasonings.
So yeah, you're very familiar. You haven't necessarily met him personally, but you know of him.
Uh-huh.
And the fact that you were dropped on this quote-unquote specialist doctor's doorstep, and suddenly one of the most powerful men in New Orleans is here, you've got some red flags being raised in your head.
The fact that they're referring to themselves as kindred, all her cult red flags are like blown high, and she's like, "Oh my god, oh my god!"
You know what, Fabi, you know what it is?
Huh?
It's the red flag. It's the red flag guy on TikTok.
It is the red flag guy on TikTok. He's just running across her brain right now. To anyone that could hear her, she's like, "Oh my god, this is a cult. Oh, all those drunk fucking tourists were right. Oh my god, what am I doing here? Oh my god."
Excuse me, ma'am. Not to, you know, concern you at all. That's not my reason for being here. I was happened to be in the area and wanted to check on Lydia, and she's explained to me that you're a bit of a newborn in the area. Fresh here. Newborn, right? She's newborn?
Yeah, she's like a day old.
Yeah.
Sir, I'm 23.
Oh my. And he looks at Lydia and he goes like, "You have not told her, have you?"
I was trying to explain that when you showed up.
Listen, if this is some like Scientology thing where I have to pay a base fee and
Not
then
at all,
continue to
not
pay
at all,
more
man.
fees.
So
Okay.
real quick for reference, between Lydia getting home, this happening, and you showing up, it's been maybe 5 minutes.
Excellent. All right, I came at the perfect fucking time.
So she's like, okay, sorry, and she like stands up because she was raised in the South. She stands up, kind of, you know, brushes her skirt off, walks over, like holds her hand out. She's like, Tia LeBeau, nice to meet you. Professionally,
nice to meet
Mr.
you
Dubois.
Nice to meet you as well, ma'am. And he takes her hand and like, you know, does a little curtsy with it. His instinct is to like kiss the hand, but I don't want to make anyone uncomfortable at all. Oh my god,
Tia blue screens a bit because she's like, the last time someone was this like physically close to me, he was trying to get my number and he was at least 50.
Oh god. If I think Laron is like good at like catching fucking vibes, and so he's like, "Oh, my sincerest apologies."
Oh no, she likes it from large. She's like, "Oh, this is a nice change of pace." Finally, someone manners.
Gives you a small little peck on the hand, and goes, "My apologies for intruding oh so soon. It seems like you and Lydia have quite a lot to get caught up on. If I could be so kind as to assist Lydia in bringing this young one up to speed upon the situation that she's fortunately or unfortunately found herself in."
I would actually appreciate that very much, sir. Thank you.
Happy to help. Don't want to step in on things. It's as the people call it, it's 2024. Must let women be able to handle things their own way as they are perfectly capable.
I fucking love this.
I love Laron. Oh my god. Please tell me Laron is single. Please.
I believe so.
I think we agreed that I think when we talked backstory stuff, he was just like, "I'm too busy running shit to worry about dating right now. It's not a thing right now."
Hasn't been a thing. Hasn't been a major part of his life. It's never come up. So you know he's got shit to do. He's sort of like
marking down so many things in her head right now. She's like, okay, met one of the most powerful men in New Orleans. Gotta text mom later.
Mom, you know who I met. Yeah, Dubois.
Vive Laron Dubois! Yes, I got a picture with him. Here you go.
So he they're in the parlor. And this is like a couch or something to sit on.
Yeah, it's a whole like room.
Yeah.
It's really nicely set up.
I'd say most parlor rooms usually have like 2 love seats, some chairs, but yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry,
so
that's me
Laron,
being like.
I got you. I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm painting the image in my head. Laron sort of like shows his hand and like sort of beckons her to go to the couch and sit down, or whatever seating arrangement he can. And he wants to stand in front of her, and he looks at Lydia like, "Should I go first? Should you go first?" You.
I mean, I've only been back in New Orleans for about 20 years, so not that long.
No, it hasn't been too long.
And I will say to the viewers at home, 20 years is like the equivalent of being back for a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
And kindred time, like, it's nothing. It's a drop in the bucket.
Like maybe a year.
Uylsses has spent the last 50 years trying to get over a bad breakup, and that's pretty normal.
Oh,
I'm so sorry for Uylsses.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Uylsses! Oh, I want to hug him.
And then
I told him, come here,
Rosetta
it's okay,
and Rhys
baby.
over here being an adorable, loving couple, all up in his face.
Laron goes like, I guess I'll begin. Welcome to New Orleans, young lady.
I've
Presume
lived here
you've
my
been-
whole life, sir.
Oh, fantastic! So we don't even have to go through that kind of introduction.
Yeah.
So can you give me just like a play-by-play of what occurred just before you arrived at this here domicile?
I was feeling sick. Went to the doctor. Doctor asked me a lot of weird questions. I'm 95% sure he like got a contact high from whatever drug I was given. I'm pretty sure that's what this is. This has to be some weird like PCP trip, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And he dropped me off here like, you know, Orphan Annie, and then left. So no answers. I
will say for you, Tia, one thing that you do remember is you did meet up with before you started feeling sick and off and everything, you did meet up with a very attractive Hispanic man who seemed to take a very keen interest in you, and that kind of faded into obscurity, and the next thing you remember is being at the doctor.
Okay, and Tia remembers that, right?
Yes.
Laron sees Tia kind of like have a little bit of a light bulb moment. She's like, no, but before all that, before I started feeling sick, I met some Spanish dude, or Hispanic, Spanish, not sure if he's actually from Spain or from like a Latin American country. I just knew that he spoke Spanish. And then something happened, and I'm assuming he drugged me. Either that or I'm the new Virgin Mary, because I haven't been able to keep anything down like all day.
All right, want to confirm something for my own purposes. When a vampire turns someone else, is it still a traditional on the neck thing, or is it whatever body part gets bit?
It's whatever body part gets bit, but the turned one has to then drink of the sire's blood.
Right.
And I will say that the person that Tia described is kind of ringing some familiar bells for both you and Lydia. I would like you both to make me a let's go with wits and insight roll.
Wits and
On it,
insight?
give me a minute.
Yeah, so wits is the attribute, and then insight is the skill.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so you'll take those dots, and that's how many dice you roll.
Okay, so I think I have an insight of 2. How many?
Okay.
What kind of dice am I rolling?
D10s.
I sent
you.
you. I actually tagged you in player session chatter a rolling.
So there is a Vampire the Masquerade dice roller if you
Hold
want to
on.
do it that way, or you can do it by hand, whatever you prefer.
All right, out of 3,
Okay.
I had
Yep. Nope.
2
I see the
successes.
horde. I will
One of
respect the
them-
dice horde.
one of them being a critical success.
I'll put it in the in-bag chat, but this is a link to something that can help you roll without, worry.
Alright,
I'm
shit.
just gonna tell the GM to look in player chatter right now.
Give me one sec. I have a quick cheat sheet on how to read the dice rolls. I just have to figure out where I put it.
Okay, so real quick, I have an insight of 2 and a wits of 3, so it's still the 2 dice, correct?
It's 5 dice.
It's 5 dice.
5 dice. Oh fuck me.
Okay, that answers my question because I was gonna ask like for any time I have to roll. I was like, what do I do?
Yeah, each
Right.
dot
Yeah, no,
is
it's-
a dice.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
Okay,
No
cool.
problem. I am putting the dice rolls in the player chat so you guys can see them and all that fun stuff.
Laron got a 30. I don't know what that means.
So we don't add the dice up.
Oh fuck! How do I know? What am I trying to get above? Oh, my bad. I'll wait. I
So,
didn't understand what I do.
for those who are watching at home and want to learn, so we don't do a total. We do basically it either succeeds or fails. A 1 to a 5 is a failure. A 6 to 9 is a success. And then if you get 2 or more 10s, it is a critical success, which means that it's the equivalent of getting like 2 nat 20s in a row.
Got you. Okay.
A messy crit is you rolled a single 10, but you still run the risk of increasing your hunger because you were so good at what you did. A critical success does not rouse the hunger. That's the biggest difference.
Okay, so I believe these are 3 successes. I have a 2 3s, a 7, a 9, and an 8.
So yeah, that's 3 successes. Thankfully, no bestial failures. You don't have to worry about rousing your hunger. But both of you do realize that the person that Tia is referencing having run into before coming to and going to the doctor is a very well-known anarch, also a Brujah, by the name of Nines Rodriguez. And he originally was based in California and was
Where
known
I
as
was.
a massive upstart against the Camarilla, which is a huge no-no. And
Okay.
after some shit went down in San Diego, nobody really knows what happened, but some shit went down and he just went off the radar. Nobody knows where he ended up. And the way that she described this person almost matches his description to a T.
I will say while she's describing it, she's like, don't worry, I would love to see him again. I swear to God, if I've been drugged again right before my shift, I'm gonna get so mad. But like, don't get me wrong, he was like
Again?
super hot, you know?
Again, I'm terribly sorry for you. Give me one. Can you hold on for 1 second, young Tia? And he turns to Lydia. What's the guy's name again?
Nines.
Nines.
Lydia, out of curiosity, I know you've not, it's been a minute. And you're just coming back. You ever heard of a man by the name of Nines?
I've had several dealings with 9s in the past.
Lydia, you remember specifically that he protested the execution of the Hecata that now lives in your basement.
What?
Octavia?
No, I said yep.
Oh, I thought you said
Okay.
what?
Nope, yep, no.
Oh, I thought you were saying
Nines,
Octavia.
Nines is one of the reasons I have my kid.
Excellent. Okay.
I don't say that out
Um,
loud, but I'm letting you know that.
Oh, okay. So, Lauren's like,
Just to get this, I've had a few dealings with 9s.
all right. I think we and you have something to talk about in a second.
Octavia slowly peering their head out of the basement, giving a small squint of the eyes, and then slowly going back in.
Yeah, no, you, Octavia, you hear the name Nines and you're just like, oh no, not again.
Octavia's peeking out at this point. She's sitting at the top of the stairs, head halfway out, tilted, just watching these two. Full owl mode.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
While they're
so-
talking, Tia goes back to her Otome game, and she's like, God damn it, Takahashi! Breaking my heart again! I'm sorry, what?
He looks over, he's like, all right. Back to business.
Oh no, I have 2 technology kids.
Oh, God. So Laron goes back over and he's like, all right, so Tia, when you receive news, do you like the Band-Aid to be sort of ripped off, or do you want us to sort of, ease you into the pool, as it were.
I'm not pregnant, am I?
Answer the question.
No.
Please tell. You know what? Just rip the band-aid off. It'll be easier to prepare one way or the other if I need to get a limb cut off or if I'm having a baby.
Excellent. All
I
right.
love her.
We'll keep that in mind for later. So, Tia, whether you
Uh-huh.
consider this to be a fortunate change of pace or an unfortunate turn of events, I just want to let you know you are now part of a brand new sort of world, you see. And by being part of this world, we are sworn to a degree of secrecy in order to maintain this sense of anonymity between ourselves. To rip the band-aid off, as it were, you, my darling, have you ever seen the movie Twilight?
Unfortunately.
Okay, so imagine, if you will, that Edward Cullen sort of folks existed in real life, but they didn't sparkle. They did all the other things, but just not the whole glitter. That's you now.
Better. Example, I think, than that would be Interview with a Vampire.
That is significantly more correct.
Octavia's
I was just trying to.
roll over real quick. And
She
just
seemed
go,
a bit young. I don't know if she would have read Interview with a Vampire at this point in time. I mean, have you read Interview with a Vampire?
Read and watched the movie, sir.
Oh, fantastic. Then it is exactly like that. That is exactly. So the vampire in question is you now. And myself and my good friend Lydia.
I'm gonna move away from the microphone a bit because I'm gonna get a little loud. She blinks and she goes, oh, you two, that's funny. That's really funny. Listen,
Dubois.
Mr. Dubois. Sorry, that was the player stuttering, not her. Mr. Dubois, I do love a good joke. What?
Let me do a little bit of in this modern age, I know a lot of people do like some
could.
body modifications. What you got, Lydia?
I was actually gonna ask Cam something.
Octavia's gonna slide over and hand her a Capri Sun straw. We don't sleep in coffee.
Yes, what's up?
And then walk away.
Is there any way that we can prove it to her?
I was about to say, I
Well,
think I
there
have
are
some ideas.
several ways you could prove it to her, but the question is, do you want to prove it to her or do you want to traumatize her?
To be fair, Octavia was traumatized, so I'm gonna just kind of throw her in the pool now.
Oh, good God. Okay, tell me.
Traumatize one,
Oh,
friend's
God.
gonna traumatize the other.
So, at this point, we're going to put a pause on this real quick. We're going to hop back over because I feel really bad about trying to split up the time properly. Rosetta and Rhys, by now you guys have gotten back to the morgue. I'm also taking a 5-second breather because I can't fucking breathe with what's going on right now.
Do you want to go on
This is my way
BRB?
to- No, it's fine. I want to just get through this first session because I want to get everything established and
Okay.
flow going. Future sessions we'll do BRB, but this one, I don't want to keep it going too long because some of us do have work and everything in the morning. So we're gonna probably go for another hour, maybe hour and a half, unless people need to drop early, of course. But we'll play it by ear. So anyway, Rosetta and Rhys, you guys have gotten back to the morgue by now. Uylsses, you're still doing your rounds, or are you on your way to go meet up with Laron?
I'm on my way to go meet up. I assume I wouldn't be going to the house because I wouldn't know where that is.
Depends. Laron, did you text him the address of where you were going?
Like, I can go be part of that scene
You're
if
muted.
you guys.
Laron.
Muted fucking hell.
It's
He has
work all
not
I
over
can go
again.
be part
did
of
not-
that scene, and if you guys think it would be funny, I can just be there. And now if she has to deal with there being a cowboy.
You know what?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, would Laron have texted the address of where he was going as like a just in case kind of deal?
So he didn't text it as a just in case kind of deal. But upon like hearing the laughter, He's sort of like mumbles to himself. Haven't heard laughter one in a long time. Hold on one second. And Lydia, you wouldn't mind if I brought in as a guest, would you?
Not necessarily.
All right.
I'll just let
Dan.
Octavia know.
Need someone to deal with nines. He can also deal with nines.
You see Octavia in the
I can deal
background
with
slide
nines.
down the stairs. You see the door close and hear click, 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 click of so many locks.
I would say, do they say the name Nines? Like,
yeah.
gloves.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you see Tia kind of like slide up a little bit with her like hand, like her chin on her hand, like Nines. Ooh, that's a nice. His name is Nines. Ooh.
Now, Tia, darling, I'm gonna need you to sit back down for a moment. We still have much to discuss, but I do appreciate your enthusiasm over this Nines fellow. Might help us find him for some conversations.
So
Tia dramatically sits down and crosses her legs. She's like, "As you wish, Mr. Dubois." She faces the delusion. She's like, I may as well play out this delusion. This is some weird dream. May as well have fun with it.
okay, so while y'all are waiting for Uylsses to get to the house, because again, I need to pivot away from it so I can get back on track here with the rest of the shit going on, because I can't fucking breathe.
You're welcome.
Oh, I'm so glad I introduced y'all. Anyway, so, Rosetta and Rhys. You guys, I will say that the Malkavian that you guys met did probably, like, it probably didn't bother Rhys, because Rhys is used to people being like, oh, you're pretty, oh, you're this, oh, you're that, but Rosetta's probably still kind of thinking like, that was fucking weird.
She's definitely like taken like a napkin or like a wet wipe and cleaned off where he licked it. He licked Rhys.
He licked the tip of his finger, so
Just like scrubbing that spot. Like, that's fucking gross. It just licks people.
you do know that Malkavians are weird. They're fucking weird. That's just all there is to it. There's no rhyme or reason that anybody can tell is what's going on. But, you know, that's just kind of par for the course. But yeah,
It's just a Malky being a Malky.
Exactly. Do you go in and tell Edmund about your interesting encounter?
Yeah. I gotta go check on Ed. You know, she would have gone to wherever he is, wherever he was most likely to be, probably in the morgue area.
Edmund is
See, we can
downstairs
drag him
in
out
his
finally.
work office.
He's in his office.
Um,
So yeah,
You walk in seeing him mopping.
she's used to seeing him cleaning for no reason. She just goes, Eddie, do you have any disinfectant I can use? We met a weird Malkavian outside and he licked it. He licked Rhys's finger. I don't know what germs that man had on him.
You see him scrunch his nose. He goes, see, and he just walks over and starts like literally pulls out one of those like cleaning buckets with the different sections for different types of soaps and scrubs and stuff. Hands her some rubber gloves and goes, see, get him cleaned up. We don't need him bringing anything up in here. Though we can't get sick, it's always better. It's always better.
Rhys just holds his hand out.
Right? And she's again cleaning it off, just like that's gross. Oh, she's cleaning his hand. She talks to Ed and just goes, "So how was your meeting with the not so pretty cowboy?"
It went fine. He had some concerns over the recent murders.
Well, isn't everybody?
No, not
Did he have any
everybody.
insight by chance?
He believes it might have been one of the Camarillas going a little out of control.
No, that it just looks up at Rhys and just like, "Oh, you poor dear. I can't believe you have to deal with those fools."
Gives her this kind of simpering look like, oh.
I've already said, if you if you wish to stop engaging with the Camarilla, you can more than welcome be strictly with the Hecata clan.
Oh, is that to Rhys? Apologies. Well, you know I would love to be a one clan man, but unfortunately, connections are a need, and needs must, so.
See, well, Motivio, you know the drill. As long as you don't bring the Camarilla business into our lives, we will not disturb yours.
Oh, shush, Ed. He's heard that a bajillion times for the past 100 years. Okay?
Has it been
No need to
drilled into his
repeat.
brain?
I mean, I should hope so, with how often you bring it up.
They look to their handsome friend and go, has it been drilled into your brain?
Like I was the ocean and you were a U.S. drilling plant.
Good, good. So,
I'm gonna use that shit next time.
how did your struggle? It went well?
It was about peaceful enough up until some random hussy threw herself at him.
Oh, Tesoro, she tripped.
Don't they all?
That's
Don't
what
they
they
all?
all say.
The fact that both siblings are like, don't they
Right
all?
at the exact same time. But no, yes, we met two weirdo Malkavians. And I think the
Two.
prissy one might have been one of yours?
One of mine.
No, she said yours, she looked to Rhys.
Ah.
Oh, you mean Toreador? Could have been.
Possibly.
I wasn't really paying any attention.
Did you get their names?
What was it again? I wasn't paying too much attention.
Did Lydia introduce herself to them?
I don't
She
think
did.
She did?
Yeah.
I know Rhys
Yeah, she did.
didn't introduce himself because I slipped my mind.
She did.
Okay, so yeah, you would have remembered the name and everything, that it was Lydia, and that
Lydia.
she had
Yes.
that she had a she had the Malkavian, two of them, one of which was koala bearing to the other, and then suddenly she vanished, left the two Malkavians there. It was a whole ordeal.
Lydia. I know of the name. Did not know that they were Toreador. Good to know. Good to know.
I mean, if you want, I can try and find some info on her.
No. We do not associate with her. Last I saw her, she was last I've heard of her, she was going to San Diego to shack up with the Camarilla.
Well, something must have
And-
went wrong if she came back.
I will say, because of your guys' ties and how the Hecata work, you were very, very much aware of the relationship between the former Prince of San Diego and Lydia.
Last I heard of her, she went to San Diego to shack up
Los
with the
Angeles.
Camarilla Prince.
Or Los Angeles, sorry.
With the Camarilla Prince of Los Angeles. If she has moved
Something
back.
must have gone wrong then if she came back.
You see this kind of twinkle in Edmund's cloudy eyes, and he's like, a string of murders out of nowhere, and Lydia is somehow back. It must really be a member of the Camarilla, if the Princey has sent his little puppy back here.
Sounds like trouble might be at our doorsteps once again. How annoying.
As long as we keep the doorsteps clean, that's all that matters.
I can't promise I won't drop any blood on it.
Oh, you too, he says after a moment. Always so pessimistic. Well, I'm sure if she's back for a reason.
Let's
Then he
just hope
looks
it-
at her and he says, not a specific reason.
Let's just hope that it's not related to what has been happening. The last thing we need is trouble in our neighborhood.
Well, I believe we should offer a hand to her in friendship.
Reason. Have reason. Do not act like we are friends. I will not extend a hand to a Camarilla.
Not
Well,
in
you don't have
friendship,
to.
but mutual gain could work.
The Camarilla don't want mutual gain, they want control.
How
Yes, but they
rude. You don't know
clearly
all of
don't
us.
have much of it.
Who the fuck said that?
Goes to our house.
The voice of the
But we
ether.
purified
Pay
his
no mind.
souls.
Edmund kind of
Mutual
paces.
gain or friendship, whatever you want to call it. I feel like helping someone, and neither of you are going to stop me, so I'm going to go see if I can't find out some more information about her.
Mutual gain. I can see some mutual gain, but be wary. Reason. Should the opportunity arise that they wish to bring you aboard as the Camarilla, a full member at least, instead of one who helps, that is going against the family. And
My
Rosetta-
loyalties lie with Rosetta, and you, of course. I do not
Rosetta-
care about the Camarillo. Whatever. It doesn't matter to me. I simply want to live my life with my wife.
The Camarilla pose
You're too
a
much,
threat.
Ed.
The Camarilla pose a threat to the Hecata, and thus they pose a threat to Rosetta. You know for a fact that I will do everything in my power to make sure that she is safe. She is my little sister. She is the only family I have here.
I appreciate the love, really I do, and I would do anything for you. But you worry too much. Okay, we can help her out, get this whole murder spree business cleaned up, because as much as I love the dead, I don't like that there's so many here. Too messy, it's not right.
He's going to walk over and he's going to place a hand on his sister's shoulder and go, promise me one thing.
And what is that?
If we are to help them, you must promise that if things are getting too out of our zone, into their territory, we back off. We do not have the luxury of hopping over to the Camarilla to give them hands for another 4 years. Whether or not that is war, or whether or not that is kinship, we do not know.
I promise, but being that those 4 years are almost up, you need to understand now is probably the best time to make allies rather than enemies.
I will say, quick GM insert. Even though the Hecata are no fans of the Camarilla and there is an agreement that they, this is a no touch until 2028, they do realize that the power void that's been left by the previous prince disappearing does pose a threat to their livelihood. Which means Edmund would no longer be allowed to hide in his morgue and be away from people unless they're dead if shit goes sideways.
We help until it becomes a problem for us, and then we back off. Understood?
Yes,
Works
yes,
for
I
me.
understand.
All right.
And
I will drive. I promised you an outing.
you have worked with Lydia a couple of times since she's been back. Nothing crazy, just like a couple of mishaps here and there, so you know how to get there. It's about a good 30-minute drive from the morgue. Funny if you drive like Lydia,
No.
allegedly.
Lydia's house is popping today.
Well, how else am I supposed to know y'all
do-
fuckers in the same place?
Do I
To call
have
Nick. I'm gonna have to call Nick.
do I have the an ability to get in contact with Lydia?
You
Oh, yeah, she's
probably
giving you her
wouldn't,
phone
but
number.
Rosetta definitely does.
She would have given one of you guys her number. Basically, one of those cases of I don't care who, but if one of you needs to call me, here you go.
So if Edmund had dealings with her, then he would have the number.
Pretty sure
He
they
would have
both
given
would
it to-
have it. Yeah.
He
I
would
feel-
have given it to one of you, and then you guys probably just shared it. Same
feel
with
like,
probably giving it to Rhys in case of emergency.
I feel like Edmund has gotten her number and on like a piece of paper and just handed it to Rosetta without even looking at it. Just put this
Did
in
you
my
pull out a
contacts.
fucking Rolodex?
Mm-hmm. Freaking Edmund walks over to his Rolodex and he starts sifting through it.
Fucking Rolodex.
He
Rosetta's
picks it
just
up.
looking at him
have
like,
one for
Ed, I will
something."
call her, please.
No, it's fine. He's fine. And he walks over to
Please.
a
Oh my God.
phone that's mounted on the wall. The one of those old time phones where you have to like turn and it has a little
Oh,
cup that you hold to your ear.
rotary. Yeah, the rotary style
rotary.
phone.
Yeah, but the rotary one where you have to actually pick up a little cup and put it to your ear as you speak into a little
Oh my
speaker.
fucking God, that's old.
He is
Yeah,
an
no.
old soul.
Edmund has a trait that basically makes him fearful of newer technology.
No, it's not. It's not a trait that he's fearful of newer technology. He's just very traditional. He doesn't. He's over 300 years old. He doesn't like newer shit. He likes
Yeah,
old
he
stuff.
doesn't
Amish
move
ass.
You know what I
as
was trying to
quickly
say.
with times when it comes to technology. So while Rosetta's over here with, all the technology knowledge, she's, the girl in the chair, the one that's doing all the computer shit, hacking and all that. He's over here barely being able to use a regular cell phone and not the touchscreen one.
So he calls up Lydia and he waits.
Bring,
All right,
bring.
we will get back to that in a moment. Zelia,
Excuse me.
I know it's been a minute since we've touched base with you and Chris, but we got some stuff to talk real quick. You there, Zelia? Corgi?
In the words of Corgi, no.
Corgi's muted.
Are you aware that you're muted? Hello?
Corgi.
AFK.
Right, the moment
Wait, what about
she
me?
steps
There you go.
away.
Oh, there you are.
go.
So, we're finally getting back to you and Chris.
Oh.
So, we have two Malkavians who have been left unattended to wander New Orleans.
Oh no.
And Chris has been kind of sort of looking for his brother.
I would say at this point, shortly after they kind of got out of view of Rhys and Rosetta, Zelia kind of, does get off and is just kind of walking beside him and just kind of look at him like, hey, you're not looking too good. Do we need to go find people?
Find. People, things, objects. I'm fine. Where am I?
Food.
Yes. Hunger. Beast. Beauty and the Beast. Beast from X-Men. Beast of Burden.
I mean,
He's having a
he's
harder
lifting a
time
burden.
keeping his... You... Again, just so you know, the fucking metagaming pigeons don't say anything. This is something that only Zelia knows. As he is your sire, you know that he is having a much, much harder time
Keeping it together.
his already exuberant and crazy thoughts in any form of order. And he's starting to look at people like you look at a bag of Doritos after hitting a couple of edibles, you know?
What is his feed type?
So about that,
First. Predator or whatever.
I have to pull up his thingamahoozit.
the thingamahoo's, where all things are left.
So I figure Zelia will know what it is and.
Mm-hmm. Sorry,
So I
have
did
a
drop
lot
some
of-
lore in the table chat, so if anybody wants to read it,
I'm all down for lore. Gimme.
This is a very lore heavy game, just so y'all know.
Ooh.
If you want to make your own lore, please feel free. So, given his history and what you know about him, he is a cleaver.
What's that?
So the cleaver takes advantage of that idea of prefers blood of those close to them. The problem is, those close to Chris are all the way back in San Diego.
Would they have planned for this? Like, would they have stuff at Lydia's? Like blood bags and stuff?
Technically, there's an emergency store at Lydia's because, you know, Lydia has everything. Lydia's just that kind of person. But he's one of the few rare ones who has a secondary predator type. It's not as effective, but he does also fall under the grave robber feeder type. Basically, if he can't get blood that's close to him, then he goes for the already dead shit.
Okay, so it'd have to be something more like recently dead. Because of
It
course
can be
they'd have to have
recently-
blood. Because
So
that's
let me
something
just-
I would say. Yeah, they just if they bury something, you know, they take all the blood out. So
Yeah. So oftentimes they find themselves digging up corpses or working on mortuaries to obtain their bodies. Yet, regardless of what the name suggests, they prefer feeding off the mourners at a gravesite or a hospital. Basically, they grab bodies if they can't find a mourner or somebody who just lost somebody.
okay. Have they been in New Orleans long enough to know like where the morgue is, or somewhere to take him?
So, from where
Or
you
Zelia
guys
gotta
are
kill a
at,
bitch?
because he kind of started just walking and not really paying attention, at this point, it's about a 35-minute trip to the morgue versus like a 15-minute trip to the house. So you can either go to the morgue and see if there's somebody there who's mourning over somebody that they just lost, or you can go to hit the secret stash at Lydia's.
Okay. Yeah, no, it'd be better to hit Lydia's. Yeah,
God
and
damn,
Zelia
we're just having a party apparently.
and Zelia knowing that
Party at Lydia's.
I forgot what his brother's name is, but she doesn't cares enough to
Lind.
remember his name. Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna come up here momentarily.
Oh, okay. Well, knowing that he's an ugly motherfucker, nobody probably will mess with him anyway.
Yeah, no, Lind is not a pretty Nosferatu. He's got like, so for those who don't know, Lind is a Nosferatu. He and Chris were twin brothers, but they were both turned by different vampires. One's a Malkavian, one's a Nosferatu. Lind looks like a skeleton where the skin is stretched too tight. He's missing part of his cheek, so you can see the teeth behind it. His eyes are super sunken in. He looks like the zombies from The Walking Dead, but more conscious. So,
Yeah.
at this point, Chris, you're not sure if he's looking for his brother or if he's looking for a snack, but either way, it's safer to get him to Lydia's house for the sake of everybody else and for the sake of keeping the masquerade.
Yeah. Zelia's just gonna be like, okay, big girl pants on, and
I'd be sane for 2.5 seconds.
yeah, she's gonna find like a newspaper or something nearby, shove it in his face, and just grab his hand. Put newspaper in one hand, shove it in his face, grab his other hand, and start walking to Lydia's. Be like, okay,
As soon as
let's
you
go.
put the newspaper in his face, he holds it, but not like a normal newspaper. He holds it sideways and starts reading it left to right like you would an old scroll from like the medieval times, and just, yes, fascinating. Taxes. Ethan, taxes and death.
Lydia's just kind of smiling as we're walking past people, like, nothing to see here.
People are just kind of
Everything is
waving it
fine."
off. Everybody's kind of waving it off as, wow, he's had too much to drink. That guy is not doing good. He needs to go home.
Yeah, so much to drink. Oh, buddy. You
So-
might have a problem.
So I will say that with the dice rolls that I just got, names. Fuck. Zelia, I would like you to make me a wits and a awareness check.
Please, dice, please be nice. 2 successes out of 4.
Okay, that's not bad. You're fine. You're probably gonna need a snack by the end of the night, but you're plenty fine for now. As you're walking, carefully, basically holding onto Chris by the belt loop, like, nope, we're going left, we're going right. That is a light post. You do notice that a car drives by with a very familiar pale person in the driver's seat, heading the same direction as Lydia's house, and you recognize him easily as the Hecata that works the morgue that Lydia occasionally has to talk to. As well as in the back seat, you see Rhys and Rosetta, and for a brief second, all you could think about was them abs.
It was like falling on a cloud. A really hard
made
cloud.
of steel.
A really solid, steel, hard cloud.
Hey, Cloud, can you do me a solid? Anyway, sorry. That one should have stayed an inside thought. I'm so sorry. Anyway. Yeah, it does not take you guys that long to get back to the house. By the time, we'll just say for the sake of what's the word? Moving everything along. It's going to take about 20 minutes for everybody to gather there. We're going to go back to the house real quick and touch base with Laron, Tia, and Lydia, and Octavia. Now that I've had a
Alright.
minute to collect myself here.
I believe Lydia was about to do some insane shit.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's right.
probably.
That's what we were doing. So, real quick, just before you're about to do some insane shit, Lydia, you get a text from your ghoul saying that he's on his way home, the bar is dead, and the backups can handle it.
Thank God.
So he'll be back in about half an hour or so.
It's the audible sigh of relief that comes from Lydia.
You seem far more relaxed than you were before.
No, man, you don't understand. Nick, her ghoul, is like her best friend.
I think Tia's seeing this interaction. She's like, "Oh my god, you guys are serious. This isn't like a New Orleans, we think we're vampires thing. This is a,
Well-
my god."
Well, if you won't, I could probably prove it to you today.
That's good.
Lydia, this house has been up for quite some time. You got some.
I'll say Tia's like
Russell-
half listening. She's like checking her body for bite marks. She's like, "Where the fuck did he bite me?"
Hold on. How about I show you something very interesting? Lydia, do you have any mirrors, some really old ones in the house?
Like silver.
Oh yeah, of course.
I think so.
All right. Hey, Tia, you got something in your
I
teeth.
cannot touch it though. Actually, I actually physically can't touch it.
That's okay. I
Uh,
don't need you to touch it. I just need to be pointed in a direction to show
Nope.
Tia.
I was saying
Uh,
him saying, "Oh, you got
er-
something in your teeth." Oh, sorry. Go ahead, GM.
For point of reference, the large mirror in the entryway is an antique silver-backed, like done with the old-fashioned Quicksilver Mercury kind of backing. And despite how chaotic things have gotten so far with those who are in the house, nobody has really thought to look at the mirror, so Tia wouldn't have noticed that she has no reflection yet.
Yeah. So he just like points to the mirror, like, "You got something in your teeth, darling." It's been mighty distracting trying to have this conversation.
Are kindreds able to blush? Like, are they able to like get red with embarrassment?
Only if you have the lifelike traits.
Okay, I think she does.
I know Lydia does.
Then she goes absolutely red with embarrassment, like, "Oh my god, the king of New Orleans, and here I am, sat with fucking beignet stuck in my teeth." So she runs over the mirror and is like, oh my god, oh my god, am I hallucinating or is this is a joke, right? This mirror?
Yeah,
Oh
it
my
was,
No,
God.
As Tia looks in the mirror, there is nothing there. Like, she can physically feel the table there and everything. Obviously she is there, but there's nothing in the mirror as far as where she's standing.
Just to prove a point, and he walks up and moves the table a little bit, so it like moves in the reflection. He's obviously not showing up either, but he just moves it.
That table just moved in the mirror.
You see her like knees start to shake, like this woman is about to drop any second. She's like, "Oh God, okay."
Can I? Oops, sorry. Keep going.
Oh God, this isn't a dream.
I have an idea.
Go on.
Laron's gonna think he's gonna assume like Tia seemed clearly attracted to Laron for like a second, right?
Yes,
he's the most eligible bachelor in New Orleans. Of course, she's attracted.
So
to
he's
him.
about to pull the hardest Rhys he's ever pulled in his fucking life to calm her the fuck down.
Let's go.
So he walks up to her, like puts his arms around her shoulder for like a second, and like Tia, darling, and then like he just gently puts his hand on her chin a little bit, and like just tilts it up ever so slightly. He's like, I need you to relax. Take a breath. It's okay.
You see her kind of like freeze, and just like all you hear come out of her mouth is, "You're touching me."
Yes. I needed to get your attention somehow.
Lydia's just watching this to like, oh my God.
Trust me, Mr. Dubois. You could walk down the street in a garbage bag and you would catch someone's attention. Not say that you're like. I mean, what I mean is, okay. Sorry, I'm just thinking about how I'm gonna tell my mom. She's a pretty devout Catholic. And now her daughter's a goddamn vampire!
Now, remember when I mentioned that we must keep a sense of secrecy about ourselves, correct?
I can't tell my...
No.
Mr. Dubois, have you met an Asian mother?
Several.
He knows me more than I know me!
How about this? This is how you're going to handle it, all right? You're not going to tell her that you're a vampire. If you want to keep relations and conversations up, that's perfectly fine. You are young enough that you can wait this out, so to say. Not to be so crass about it, but that is the nature of what we do here. But live your life normally. Let your mother know that you're okay, and just keep your distance, and don't see her out in the sunlight.
Wait, that's not a myth. I was hoping that was a myth like the sparkle.
I'm sorry
the sparkle is a
myth.
You see her actually get really teary-eyed, like she's actually distraught about not being able to go out in the sun anymore. She's like, but that was me and my mom's thing, was sunrise walks.
He wipes a tear from her eye. He wipes a single tear from her eye and goes like, listen, darling.
I will say.
Yes.
I will say, as you start crying, you notice your tears aren't regular tears. You're crying blood.
How about?
No, whoa. Let's relax now. Stay with me here. Look at me. All right. And he like wipes the bloody tear. And he's like, listen, all right. You can still have, for the next however long, you can still have time to spend with your mother. You just can't do the sunrise thing. However, there's ways to do things in the daytime that may be possible, but it's going to be, I wouldn't risk it if I was you. Trust me on this one. And if you need any support, myself, and I would presume Lydia, who is ever so kindly brought you into her humble abode to, I assume, to take care.
Octavia kind of chimes in saying, Lydia didn't really bring her in. She was kind of dropped off on her doorstep. Like a little puppy.
Well,
I'll say Laron can probably notice at this point that Tia is clinging to him and trembling like a small chihuahua. She is.
He's like patting her on the back and stuff. He's just like, it's okay. It's all right. You're fine. You're fine.
Octavia looks up to Lydia.
Yeah.
Should we maybe bring her into like a sense of normality for her to help ground her?
Probably for the best.
Probably.
Can I say this is when Uylsses shows up?
Oh, yeah.
I was
my God,
just about to
there's
say about
I
this
turned-
time.
I turned to Octavia, though.
Uh-huh.
I turned to Octavia, though, and do let her know that Nick is on his way back.
Octavia looks there and goes, "You said beignets, Tia? You were eating beignets. You know how to make them?
Yeah.
How about we go make some while they talk about what's going on? You can show me. I've never made them.
Lydia, you
you
don't
see
mind
a
if I
cat-
smoke in here?
Feel free.
I would say Tia kind of straightens up at Octavia's request, like wipes away the blood tears, and kind of pats Laron on the arm, like I do give Cafe Du Monde a run for their money.
Oh.
Okay.
I will
and then-
say this is when Uylsses does show up. The rest of the kindred are about 5 or so minutes out.
Well,
Y'all are making pretty good time.
That's
Has
the
Lydia-
thing to help her stay grounded. A cowboy.
I was gonna say.
Right?
I was gonna say, did Lydia ever get my call?
Oh, that's right.
Did I?
Given the situation and how intense everything is, it went to voicemail.
Then his sister and Edmund would have heard, "Lydia, this is Edmund Mortain from the mortuary down mortuary Mortain. My sister and her husband and me would like to extend a hand of help with the current cases that are going around that might be of a Guerrera problem. Please get that back to me at your earliest convenience, and we can discuss it from there." And he hangs up and looks to his sister and Rhys and goes, "There, I have offered a hand of cooperation."
So, I will say you guys do arrive at the house like 5 or 10 minutes after Uylsses does, so we'll come back to that.
Uylsses, good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you, boss. You look like you've had an interesting evening.
It has, and Laron from inside his little coat pocket pulls out a fat fucking. This is weed. This is just a fat fucking Stokes. It's a thick ass blunt. Like chops. It's a cigar blunt. He chops it off and then like lights it and goes. You have no idea, but feel free to. This is my good friend. Am I presumptuous in calling us friends now today, Lydia?
Not at all. I have a feeling we're going to be working together.
I would love that. Lydia, this is my good associate. Uylsses, this is my good friend, Lydia.
Charmed. And Uylsses takes his hat off and gives a very, very gentlemanly nod.
We have a lot to discuss. If you got some additional time tonight, Lydia, if you wouldn't mind if we can maybe sit up in your parlor.
Sorry, I was responding to something. Yes.
No worries. And he goes into the parlor and he looks over at Uylsses like, all right, so if I'm understanding correctly, have you heard of any of these string of murders that have been happening recently?
I was aware that some of the boys down on Bourbon Street have been keeping themselves scarce. It's been bad for their business. I wasn't sure exactly what, but I knew whatever it was, it couldn't be good.
No, not when things need to run so smooth. Lydia, we've come across some unfortunate events that risk potentially bringing dropping the whole masquerade, as it were. And I have some suspicions that, based on Nine's creating a newborn and dropping her off at your doorstep, rubs me the wrong way. And with these string of killings, I wonder if maybe he might be connected in some way.
GM question.
GM answer.
For this, because I've had dealings with nines. In the grand scheme of things, reasonably recently.
Mm-hmm.
Which was back in San Diego. This isn't
Yeah.
really like him, but it still doesn't sit right with me.
To see what kind of vibe and like if this is something that strikes you as something he would do, give me an intelligence and insight roll.
All successes.
All right, so
God damn.
Diggity damn.
Luna has the innate ability to roll great no matter what she's fucking rolling. It's awful. I hate it. Anyway. So.
They were just normal successes. They weren't critical successes or anything.
Oh, thank God. I mean, oh yeah, okay, yep, nope, totally normal successes. So, you do know that nines very rarely, if ever, sires anyone, but if this kid was sired, then there had to be an ulterior motive, but you can't quite pick out what it is. You know for a fact that if she wound up at your doctor friend's alone, that he wouldn't have left her alone willingly. So there's probably something else there, but I will say that you're also not entirely sure how much of that information you can share. I will let that be your discretion.
All right. Yeah. No, I'm not gonna completely share. I'm not gonna share any of that right now. Just until
Okay.
I get more information.
Totally valid.
I'm just going to look at the two and just say, something about this just doesn't sit right with me. I don't know what yet, but something just doesn't sit right.
Do I know who Nines is?
You very much do. In fact, you and him have crossed paths a couple of times in the past. Nothing like super serious, but you guys have traded blows every now and then went your separate ways. Like, yep, nope, good brawl. See you next week, motherfucker. Personality wise.
That's a
Sorry, go ahead.
type of friendship.
He's the Majima to my Kiryu, or am I Majima? I'm not cool enough to be Majima.
None of us are cool enough to be Majima.
No.
Was this
No,
during
he
my was this recently? Was this during my time with the Sabat? When would this have been?
This would have been your time with the Sabat, because Nines is very much verbally and outwardly opposed the Sabat and the Camarilla every chance he gets. And then once you broke off from the Sabat and just kind of started doing your own thing, it was a case of, okay, cool, we can brawl once in a while and otherwise, catch you next time kind of thing. Before that, though, it was very much you are a nail that needs to be hammered down. But even with that history, you would know that this isn't his usual MO, and you would also feel like something's a little off, but you don't know him as well as, like, say, Lydia does.
If Nines is involved, then it's definitely whenever he turns up. It's safe to say any disturbances have his fingers in them, but turning someone and running isn't his style.
I see. So you have some history. Do I know that you have history with him? or is this news to me?
I've probably I've probably at least like regaled a couple of times we've fought, since there were some pretty cool fights, I'm sure.
Then yeah, I forgot that you and Nams used to get into it. So exsanguinated, what the fuck?
Brain
Exsanguinated?
dry.
Exsanguinated, right? Am I wrong?
Yes. No,
Exsanguinated.
you're right.
Exsanguinated. Okay, cool. Exsanguinated corpses, a newborn in our midst, and Lydia's back in town, huh? This is going to be... Things have gotten interesting here in Louisiana. And I, for sure, am eager to get to the bottom of it. Is that a knock at the door?
And speak of the devil, as soon as you mention that,
Please be
the
Nick.
door, it is not Nick.
Damn.
Damn it!
You hear a sound coming up your driveway not too long before the door knocks, and if you peek out the window, I put it in the embed, you see this beautiful baby.
For those who can't see, it's the very traditional, classic, like Al Capone style car with the suicide doors.
It's an Alfa
Ooh.
Romano Italian sports car.
Who's the lucky
Nice.
bastard?
The Italian.
That was in character.
Then you hear the knock. Edmund is behind his sister, and Rhys kind of like, I'm in a new place.
There's people. I don't want to be here.
Hello
Oh,
again.
look, Edmund, there's tons of people in here.
So
yeah, I just
will
kind of
say,
opened the door, let him in.
Given both Lydia and Laron's history, you both know who these three are off the bat. You both have had dealings with Edmund and his sister, and Rhys is just kind of there for the ride, from what you guys can understand, because it's just, there's a whole thing going on, and it doesn't involve your work, so you try not to meddle if you can help it, kind of thing.
What does Edmund look like? Is he the really pretty boy way up at the top? That burrito
Edmund
poster?
No,
is
that's
the one
Rhys.
on the very left.
If you look at the way it's lined up in the stream, it's got
Yeah,
names.
Edmund is the extremely pale blonde with his eyes look as if he's blind, but you know very well, a little too well,
Yeah.
that he can see.
Yeah, okay, so we've met before, right?
Business partners.
In passing, in the beginning of the session, a long ass time ago, I had owed you a favor, and your favor had came through when you asked Uylsses to come speak with me about the bodies in the mortician, in the mortuary, and
In the morgue.
Yeah, in the most recent one was one of your top of the line drug dealing buddies that I examined and found what I could.
Excellent.
That was the body that was super mutilated.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay. I guess seeing Edmund, Laron's like, doctor, right? He's a doctor?
He's a mortician.
Mortician. Okay, so not really. Well, I think Laron's nice enough.
They still get called doctor, yeah.
Oh, perfect. Ah, Dr. Edmund. Fancy seeing you here.
Well, we all knew that I was going to end up here. Eventually, I didn't think that you would be around.
I like to make my rounds here and there. I haven't gotten a chance to meet my good friend Lydia until just this past hour or so. Would you like a smoke?
No, I do not fill my lungs with such things.
It's the doctor's code, I guess.
I'd like a smoke.
Oh, absolutely. Here you go. Pass it over. My sincerest apologies.
You left out your man, my guy.
I didn't mean to. That was in the intent. He could have taken that.
No, it's good.
And then who else is there? Rhys is there, and and Rosetta. Okay. And we know them how? I'm just need to get caught up.
So Rhys
What's my
and Rosetta
motivation,
are
Doc?
married, and Rosetta is Edmund's
Forget
sister.
the motivation.
You know of the three of them because you've had business dealings with the mortuary.
Ah,
This is
Gotcha.
his, you know Edmund to be extremely old soul, very Rolodex person, while his sister's the one who's like, yeah, I'll put your number in to the computer.
oh, Rosetta's sister.
She's the sister. She's the assistant.
Sister slash techie slash.
Ah,
Yeah, and you know Rhys to be Rosetta's husband.
Yeah,
He's the
that's about
face,
it. He's not at the morgue very
social-
often.
gotcha. Okay.
I will say, Maggie, per your DM, you can do the thing.
Uh-oh.
Nice,
I
nice,
want
nice,
to know
nice,
what
nice.
this thing is.
I like
Just
when
the thing.
players do.
Don't
the thing.
worry about it. Just focus on your conversation.
I will say, Maggie, for the sake of everything, we're gonna just do one roll as a blanket roll,
Yeah.
and I want you to make me a wits and insight roll. And then I will DM you as things get updated.
What's an insight?
It's your wits and your insight skill.
6 with 2 critical successes.
No.
Okay, yep, nope. You I will
I'm good.
DM you as things happen.
Nice.
All right.
Reason steps in and shuts the door behind Edmund and Rosetta, and then because he knows he's in the company of fellow kindred, pulls his glasses off, the glasses he's been wearing all day, and his eyes are the most striking feature besides his preternatural beauty, and they are glowing yellow, like very noticeably glowing, with a red pupil, and
It looks badass, but is it a bad thing?
and so it
looks
takes
too
away some of that beauty and makes him more like supernatural looking.
Now he has a feral charm to him.
Hello, isn't my husband so hot?
The hottest. Literally
Yeah.
the hottest.
I will say,
Man, stuff
As
straight
the-
out of a novel. I love it.
It's
as
almost
soon
as
as
if
the
he
door
writes them.
closed is when Zelia and Chris showed back up.
Edmund goes to
Oh,
close the door.
Zelia.
Zelia's hand slaps it open, almost hitting freaking Edmund.
Oh. So Zelia, you and Chris get to the doorstep and start to head for the door, and suddenly the door is just bam, right in your face.
Rude.
And Chris,
Who's
is
your
just-
two?
Chris kind of stares at the door, almost as if he's trying to look not through it, but rather at the base molecules of it.
He's really trying to
And
understand.
then-
Ooh,
Find the
very
audacity
popular
of the
home, Miss
store.
Lydia.
He then proceeds to lick the doorbell.
Yeah.
Edmund is going
That's
to
just
slowly,
Chris being Chris.
Ding, ding, ding.
Edmund is slowly backing his way into a wallflower this conversation. And keep an eye on everyone.
So the doorbell goes off.
Yeah,
Doorbell goes off because Chris is licking it. And Lydia, are you stopping him? Are you still holding on to his
yeah.
belt?
You know what, Lydia?
Well, yeah.
You got a
Well, you
ring
don't know he's
camera.
at the door.
You got an Amazon ring camera, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Oh no!
God. You're watching him. I was like, if you look at the recording later, you just see his tongue just. Meh.
Your
Yeah.
freaking
That's a
phone
weird
goes
fucking
off.
alert.
Oh, fairies.
Your phone goes off. Ding! Someone's ringing your door. You click the button. You just see freaking Chris.
Oh,
She's ignoring her phone. If it's not Nick, she does not care right now.
Oh no!
But is it a silvered ring camera?
No, it's digital. Digital still pick up everything.
But yeah, so are you gonna just push him inside, or are you gonna wait for Lydia to open the door, or are you just kind of enjoying the process?
The door is wide fucking open.
Well, no,
Oh,
it got
Edmund's
slammed in
closed.
my face.
I got
Yeah.
slammed, yeah.
Rhys closed it.
Oh.
Rhys
Edmund
closed
was-
the door.
Yeah, they were just.
Or yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna open it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
as you
open it because I'm pretty sure I know it's them.
as you open it, like you just see like Zelia, like her like laying on the other side, like near the doorbell, she's trying to pry him off.
Move, goddammit, move! No, you can't eat that. Shit.
And mind you, for those who don't know, like, player knowledge does not equal character knowledge, obviously. This is the man who literally turned Zelia and was supposed to train her to be the most powerful Malkavian she could be, and he is licking doorbells.
That
Yeah,
man
you
wasn't
see
supposed to do this.
His knowledge is beyond our comprehension. He's playing 5D chess right now, and we don't even know it.
You know, Zelia actually has a foreign intelligence, so
He's pretty damn smart.
so yeah, Malkavians are really smart. They're just
fucking
Intelligence
crazy.
and wisdom are not the same stat.
This is true.
Alright, so
Well,
as soon
they're
as
a
the
little
door,
too smart is part of the
Yeah.
problem.
they're too intelligent, they don't know what to do with said intelligence. That's where it comes in.
So they lick
Yeah,
doorknobs.
no, Lydia's just gonna
Fucking
pull
orcs.
these two motherfuckers in.
Oh,
She
you don't
prob-
have to, because as soon as the door opens, he makes a beeline and just stands exactly to the centimeter in the center of the room and stares at the ceiling, unmoving.
It's just
Oh,
Chris being
party
Chris?
here
Question
now.
mark.
As far as you know,
Okay.
Zelia, you know this is a little weird, but you're not sure if it's good or bad weird.
Yeah, as he goes running in, of course Zelia's gonna fall because she was like pulling against him and he just went forward and
Just boom.
so she just falls face in and or
You
she,
just
yeah,
can't
she'd
stay
fall
standing.
back. Yeah,
I
she
was
just
gonna say,
falls
does she
back
fall
and
into Rhys again?
oh,
Actually, no, yeah, no, that would actually work with how the door is and how they're positioned. Yeah, no, she would fall into him
Bam.
again.
I guess this time it would be like to his back though.
So,
Either his back
Oh,
or
so
his
you
ass,
fall-
pick your pick.
I was saying, so you fall onto his perfectly perky ass? Oh no!
Nah, she'd fall against it and bounce right off. Just
Falls right out
No,
back
it's-
through the
it's-
door.
it's-
Get back
it's,
to the
it's
door,
good
dodgeball
getting hit
noise,
with the
though.
dodgeball.
bounces off of it, ends it up in Rosetta's chest.
I mean, I wouldn't complain.
But yeah, no, she would end up falling like backwards. You know, she just look up and she's like, "Oh, hi, Lydia. We need to get to the emergency supply."
You know where it is.
Okay, thank you. Bye. And she just runs, like gets up, like jumps up, runs in, grabs Chris, and just makes a beeline for I'm guessing the basement.
As you grab Chris, you are unable to move him.
Oh, so it's a matter of I am running at full speed, go to grab his hand, they get yanked back.
God
yeah, no, it's like
damn,
when that
there was
kid hits the fucking the railing and just bam.
Oh. I guess
Which
clumsiness
now
is
you
just
definitely
great
know
for
that
that
this is fucking weird.
Yeah.
So real quick, who is still in the entryway and who has moved to the parlor?
I'm pretty sure.
I think
We're all
everyone
in
is
the
in the
entryway?
entryway still, but Octavia and Tia are in the kitchen.
Laron's in the
What
parlor.
I'm saying is, I am giving people an opportunity to position themselves around the house before the next part of the scene commences.
Okay.
Laron's for sure in the parlor.
Edmund is wherever
Oh, yeah.
most people are, so he can keep an eye on everyone. Octavia's in kitchen.
Okay.
Lydia's over by the door right now because she's waiting for Nick to show up.
I'd say Rosetta and Rhys really haven't had the chance to move yet, so they're still probably in the entryway just watching this shit show.
Okay. I will say that with the time frame, Lydia, there's still about 15 minutes before Nick gets there.
Okay.
So you can close the door and
Yeah.
go.
No, I'm saying she's near the front, is what I was saying.
She's
Oh,
waiting.
okay. That makes. All right. That actually makes this next part absolutely perfect. So, as you all start to gather around, kind of just not sure what unseen forces brought you here, but for some reason, everybody is here. And there is a reason for it. You just don't know what it is.
It's been quite some time since this many of our own kind of found ourselves in such a situation that I don't often have such large gatherings with my own folk. I'm a little interested as to what everyone's come to Lydia's humble abode for.
Rosetta just like looks at you and shrugs like, I don't know why you're here, but the three of us came to offer our assistance with the recent string of murders.
Ah, so you and I both have aligned goals because we are equally, me and Uylsses are for sure equally interested in that. I was just coming here to greet Lydia and make my presence known as a fellow Nola Knight of sorts.
Looks to Lydia.
Oh,
I
shit.
live here.
Lydia's standing there like, I live here.
It's like, we're here for you, so what do you say? Temporary partnership? Get this mess cleaned up since it's most likely one of your kind running around causing it.
Ooh, the sass!
She's gonna straighten herself up again. But also, it's just the like, she's giving her that look of, bitch, you will not talk to me like that, especially in my own home.
Edmund,
Reason looks down at her, and he's got that stern look on his face, and he says, Rosetta.
I'll let you do the talking.
Edmund's going to chime in and go, I understand that our clans and such do not always see eye to eye, especially with who you are and who I am. But it has come to our attention that that if we are to make sure that the streets are safe for all of us, then it would probably be of our best interest to have somewhat of a temporary coterie, if you are all okay with that.
I don't think Laron's had any problems with anyone, right? Like he's pretty chill with most everybody.
Yeah, no. Laron, from what we discussed during character building, is pretty much just like, I'm here to do my business, and if we can help each other out, great. Otherwise, you do you, boo.
Yeah, you know that Edmund, you know the Edmund being a Hecata, the whole thing with you two is you don't go into my business, I don't go into yours. We're chill. You like stay on that side of the room, I stay on this side.
This is the
Excellent.
light of death. You cross it, you die.
Look, I for sure have never been opposed to working with folks of other clans. I like to think that we live in a unified clan called Vampire, if you will. But all that said, I think it would benefit all of us if I would agree. I think it benefits all of us if we work together upon making sure whoever's causing the problem does not break the veil, so to speak.
I will say, since everybody is now pretty much gathered, at this point, Octavia and Tia will have you rejoin the group.
Okay.
They got beignets, motherfucker.
Octavia's
Yeah, we
walking out with
And yays have been
like,
made. There's the smell of hot honey and powdered sugar in the air, fried dough. It smells heavenly. Some people can. But
Oh shit. Who can?
I will say
I
this.
can. Wait, I think I
have
can.
a
at
question
least.
for Lydia.
Shoot.
How much do you like your front door?
Uh-oh.
What?
Uh-oh.
Fuck.
As soon as Tia and Octavia re-enter the room, there is a sound of bending metal and shattering wood as the front door goes flying through the entryway and embeds itself in the wall across the way.
Oh, hell no.
Literally 2 seconds later, a limp body is thrown in, followed by another. I am posting a picture in player chat. A man wearing a pinstripe suit with long
What
black
the
hair
fuck?
tied into a ponytail, covered in vampire and human blood, strides in, smiles, and points to the two bodies. One is Nick, your ghoul, Lydia.
Oh no, not Nick.
He is alive. You can still hear a heartbeat, but it is very faint. He is the equivalent of one death save away from fucking it up. And the other one is y'all's missing Nosferatu, Lynn. His right arm is
Stop this shit
completely
again.
missing.
Sucks
His
for
right
him.
arm is completely torn off, and it looks like somebody started to decapitate him, but stopped halfway through.
Oh my god, damn.
Jesus.
So as soon as this happens, Octavia kind of looks at Lydia and mouths, "I got Nick," because Octavia does have healing abilities.
Okay.
The man steps into the door, into the archway, if you will, that would let you get to him. Crosses his arms over his chest, takes in every single face in the room, smiles. And as he smiles, his fangs seem a little bit longer and a little bit more feral than most kindreds would. He tilts his head. As he does, it sounds like, you know, when you open a gate that hasn't been moved in years and it's just that creak of wood? It sounds like that, mixed with the sound of teeth being stepped on.
Ew.
And he smiles even wider, and here I thought it was going to be a boring evening. And with that, we'll see you guys next week.
Whoa!
Fucking dickhead. You don't clean that up right now,
Get
right?
out of the basement, and you go and throw crazy vampire at us.
Edmund's never coming back. Anyway, because we are ending, I would like to say thank you everyone for watching Dice and Destinies, and thank you so much, Q Cosplay, for this amazing freaking session that is going on. Holy shit!
I'm really glad we were able to get back to this. I have missed doing this. I love my evening. I can do this. Thank you to everybody for joining us. Thank you to our new players and our old players. And I hope you guys enjoy. Be sure to check out my streams whenever they fucking happen, because I
Oh
don't
my god, I am
schedule
having so much fun. I'm having so much fun.
All right. So I am Max from Dice and Destinies.
So many of us are just down bad for Rhys.
So I am Max from Dice and Destinies. This is Q Cosplay.
Ayo, catch me at Game On Expo.
Yes, catch him at Game On Expo, for he is guesting. This is.
Hey Max, are you going to be at Game On?
Yes, Max is gonna be at Game On.
So, and this and Lydia here is Otter Space Studios.
Hi.
Corgi over here playing Zelia is Cosplay Corgi.
Hey.
Bilo over here, otherwise known as playing as Rhys, everyone's husbando. Sorry, Nevi.
Yes.
To be honest, people, he's the thirst trap for this series. I'm sorry.
He
Between him
is.
and Laron, there is no fucking hope for anybody.
No.
We're all dead.
I don't remember how to pronounce your Twitch.
Oh, it's Clover Aqua VT, all one word.
Yes, Clova Aqua VT here on Twitch. Then we have Fabi, who is the voice actor. Hint, hint.
Tee.
They have an amazing voice. You should hire them.
Totally. And
you guys are being too nice. Stop.
this is Kai, who plays Laron. Do you have anything that you want to shout out?
Nah, not really. I don't do much.
Like,
I
if you also
sometimes
be
stream in
a
my
Game
spare
On?
time. Huh?
I'm like, will you also be at Game On?
I won't. I'm up here and
Corgi Cosplay will
effing-
be.
He's one of my Milwaukee coworkers.
yeah,
Well,
yeah. But I
I'll
got
be a
nothing
Game
major-
On next year.
Yeah, there you go.
If you happen to like their voice, who knows? Maybe they'd be interested if you have an idea for like a character. They have a really good voice.
Ew.
Just saying.
Ew.
Who?
Yeah.
Wait, what? Who? Me?
Yeah. Anyway.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'll play anything.
then
All
I
the
don't-
voice actors in chat here.
I don't know where Link went, but Link plays Uylsses? God damn, I suck at names.
Ulysses.
Ulysses.
Where are you getting Eurydice?
Eurydice
It's
is my Vader.
Listen,
It's Ulysses.
listen. I have been a little
Eurydice
too
is the
involved with
stoner
Epic
mom.
the musical. Anyway, I hope you all had fun. We hope to see you again. It's gonna
We'll
be
be back
great.
next Wednesday.
We'll be back next Wednesday for our second session.
Yeah.
And we'll find out who this
Bye-bye.
mysterious stranger is and why the fuck he decided to take it out on Nick.
I want to run the hands. I want to run the fade.
Right?
You
Thank
about to
you.
get jumped.
Yo,
Like,
LaRon
wait,
is here for a
wait.
squabble. Let's go.
I'm like,
When
everyone's
this treasure I summon, beat down.
Everyone's
LaRon's
looking at
about
this
to stand up
guy
and just
and-
fucking like flex and shit and like, hey.
What's
He's
up,
about to do that
Corgi?
fucking thing. Yo, you remember when like fucking Mission Impossible 2 was coming out and they were doing that fucking like the gun thing?
Is he gonna reload his arms?
Yeah, you have to
Hey.
reload the fuck out of his arms. Pop, pop.
Hey, you too. Tia and
Motherfucker,
Laron.
Yeah,
Give us
but
that.
Alright.
What's
yeah,
up,
no,
Corgi?
Zelia's looking at this. Everyone's like watching this guy walking in, and Zelia's just sitting there looking at Chris's brother, be like, "Oh man, shame. They should have finished him off." Oh.
Oh my
Anyway.
god!
This
We
has
should
been.
probably end the stream.
Yep, this has been New Orleans by Night with Dice and Destinies and QCosplay as our game master. Have a good night, everyone. Say good night.
Good night.
Night.
Good night.